I'm Jennifer King.
Canadian and Mexican tariffs are set to take effect beginning tomorrow.
We're going to bring our car industry back. We're going to bring our chips back. We're going to bring so many things back to our country, including pharmaceuticals and drugs. And the thing that's going to get us there is tariffs.
This morning, Reuters is reporting that Honda will produce its next generation Civic hybrid in Indiana instead of Mexico to avoid potential tariffs. European leaders are throwing their full weight behind Ukraine. At a weekend summit, they announced outlines of a plan that would end Russia's war.
There is a big stumbling block. While there may be a coalition of the willing countries that say they could go and help police any ceasefire or any peace agreement, unless the US is willing to stay engaged at some level, it is the belief of the Prime Minister here and other European leaders that this won't credibly deter future Russian aggression. And it's not at all clear what Donald Trump is willing to offer beyond this prospect of a minerals deal and having some US workers in Ukraine, in the country.
That's the BBC's Ian Watson. Wall Street stock futures are higher this morning. More at townhall.com.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten.
Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
China is preparing to levy tariffs on U.S. farm exports to offset similar moves that are being planned by President Trump.
China's state-run Global Times newspaper said the countermeasures will likely target U.S. agricultural and food products. China remains the biggest market for U.S. agriculture products, even after Beijing slapped tariffs of up to 25% on soybeans, beef, pork, wheat and corn in 2018 in retaliation for duties on Chinese goods imposed by President Trump. Analysts believe Beijing still hopes to avoid an all-out trade war and negotiate a truce with the Trump administration. But so far there has been no sign of a deal between the two economic giants.
That's the BBC's Laura Bicker reporting. President Trump will address a joint session of Congress tomorrow night. He writes on social media, he will tell it like it is. News and analysis at townhall.com. It's official. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is running for mayor of New York City. Correspondent Julie Walker has the story.
Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo shaking up the New York City mayor's race, announcing he's running Saturday, Sunday holding a rally at the Carpenters Union.
We are here because we love New York and we know New York City is in trouble.
He stepped down following sexual harassment allegations from at least 11 women, which he denies. His critics also point to nursing home deaths during COVID. But Cuomo criticizes his opponents and says he's the right candidate out of the crowded Democratic field. Cuomo wants more police and tougher action on crime and homelessness. His biggest challenger right now, Mayor Eric Adams, who's trying to get his federal corruption charges dismissed. Julie Walker, New York.
NASDAQ futures up over 0.5% this morning. More at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of from the DJ, the travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Ah, yes.
And March.
And happy March.
Yeah, welcome to March.
I almost just ate it right there. I went to sit down and my heel pushed the chair back. So before I sat, I had to look between my legs. Okay, there it is. And it kind of pitched back.
That would have been a start to a
It
show
would have
on a
been a
Monday.
real Dick Van Dyke-esque start to a Monday morning, I feel
Yes,
like.
it would have.
And then I was like, dang it, that was before the cameras were even on. If I was going to make a pratfall, you'd hope that, the two-shot would at least be there.
That's right. We'd learn nothing from Chevy. Be in front of the camera for the prat.
Always. Always in front.
But happy Monday. Hope all of you had a great weekend.
Ah, yes.
Of course, it was kind of a busy weekend as far as like just stuff.
It was busy. It was an interesting weekend. Saturday was the Elimination Chamber. I went over to a couple friends' houses.
Oh yeah,
or friend house
wrestling.
to catch that. And you know how? Okay, so people who don't know like wrestling in general, they know about some of the big things. Like about Hulk Hogan's NWO turn in '95 and what a big deal that was. One of those things happened this weekend. So for
the Cena thing?
For the entirety of John Cena's career, he's been a babyface. He's been the good guy.
Yeah.
He finally turned heel.
I saw on Twitter that they were talking about it and all that.
And so it's sort of like set the entire landscape on fire, and that's all anybody in my sphere has been talking about all weekend.
As a guy that's not really a wrestling fan, I'm not going to lie. When I hear this, I'm like, yeah, right.
Right? What's hilarious about it,
I don't believe it that he's a bad guy.
Right.
Even still.
Right. It's hard to...
He's too nice.
But here's the thing. Actually, and what's funny is somebody said that during his heel turn, instead of doing Make-A-Wish, he should go on a Break-A-Wish campaign, find kids with wishes and just cancel them. But what's hilarious is this really, really reveals how bad of an actor John Cena actually is.
Yeah.
The guy never could sell. Like when he would take a high spot or whatever, he could never sell. He goes into dead Cena mode where he's just. But his bad guy heel turn face has made it all over the internet. And I swear to God, every time I look at it, it's like, you just look like you had bad Taco Bell. It's his same face when he's shocked, when he's angry, when he's evil. It's that same. I have a vein on the side of my head because I'm trying to force out some combination of last night's dinner and this morning's breakfast.
Because John Cena, in the heart of hearts, is a comedic actor.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. But
I think because when he does comedies, he's a little deeper. He's funny.
But here's the problem with that. Most people say that if you can do comedy, you can do drama. That comedy is actually harder to pull off than drama.
Well, apparently he disagrees.
And he's the exact. He's wired so much differently.
Yeah.
He's got one mean guy face.
Because if there's a comedy with him in it, it's usually funny.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But the sad thing is he's usually the best part of it, which really goes to say something about the rest of the cast.
And if you all need an example, check out the movie Ricky Stenicki. That is vintage John Cena.
That is a great movie. I will definitely give him that. And honestly, I enjoyed Peacemaker. I thought it was that was
a good show.
That was hilarious though.
Are they doing a season 2 of that?
Yeah.
Good.
I believe they're in post-production.
I don't need
right
an
now.
Andor season 2. I would like a Peacemaker season 2.
I think they shot it because he had to go off and do a bunch of stuff. They shot it, and I think that it's in post right now.
Oh, good.
So is my theory.
Because I watched hunks of the Oscars last night.
Oh, just the hunks?
I didn't watch like all of it, but I watched.
I just thought you meant like sexy men. Timothy Chalamet.
Conan O'Brien.
Although I got to give it to Conan.
He was good.
He did really good.
Conan is, to be honest, he is our American treasure when it comes to award shows and being a host. He is by far the best at it. He has a way of making everybody laugh and ticking off 0 people.
And what it is,
that's a talent in this world that not very many people possess.
He's a master. Not only is he a great writer, a great performer, he's a master of self-deprecating humor.
Absolutely.
Without pushing it too far and making himself.
He's the master of making cringe funny.
Yes.
Like he lives in the world of cringe, and that's where his warm spot is.
Case in point, he said he made some reference and he goes, "Thank you, one guy." That kind of thing, that's when he captures his audience and can really just take it wherever he wants. But he did a great job.
Yeah, that. To be honest, I could have cared less about the Oscars. I was like,
that's
Conan's hosting. I love Conan. He's funny, and he did not disappoint.
I have seen exactly 0 of the Oscar nominees this year.
I saw some of that stuff. I saw Kieran Culkin. Yeah.
No, just Culkin.
Is it Culkin?
Kieran Culkin.
Kieran Culkin. There it is.
Yeah.
I saw his award.
His name's not Macaulay Culkin.
I don't know. Well, they're related. They're brothers.
Yes, that's why I'm saying his name wouldn't be Macaulay Culkin.
I know. I just didn't. I was thinking for a minute. I was like, is it McCulkin? I don't remember. But anyway, I saw his acceptance speech, and that was funny. He was funny. He's kind of a loose cannon type person. Kieran Culkin. Yeah, no, he's sort of out there. And it was kind of weird. I didn't realize it till just now. Is he was nominated alongside his co-star in the HBO show. His brother from the show. The one about the businesses and all that he was a big star of.
Succession.
Yeah, that one. His older brother in the show was also nominated for an award in a different movie.
Oh, really?
That he beat. And I didn't know or think anything until I saw and the nominees are, and I'm like, hey, that's his brother from Succession.
Yeah, he won Best Support. Will you move? There are all these graphics on the screen, like the 97th award. Stop with the scrolling thing. I get what you're doing, Google, but stop it.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but yeah,
I'm trying to remember. He won the award for A Real Pain.
Yeah, it was that movie with
Real Pain.
The buddy, not comedy, drama.
Dramedy.
Yeah. The older brother from Succession also was nominated in that category for another movie. And I was just like, oh, wow, it's like a Succession night here.
It's success for Succession. Look at you. Look at you go.
But the bits that I did see from Conan were pretty funny. And it was better than others, I will say.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more. I enjoyed I did see the in tribute part where they did they start out with Morgan Freeman doing a little tribute to Gene Hackman, and then they did the montage of all of the people we've lost in the year,
right?
And then they ended it with Hackman again, so that was kind of neat. But it was
I missed the in memoriam. I think I want to go back and check that out because I'm sure. It's funny how people talk about Oscar snubs. There's always in memoriam snubs too.
Yeah,
like who didn't make the cut.
Well, and of course, that story's getting. But I think at the end of the day, it's just a huge sad tragedy. Like with Gene Hackman and all that, it sounds like because there's reports that Gene had dementia.
Well,
and then she kind of just had an episode, they think, and then she was the caretaker, and he
sitting there trying to.
He had dementia, didn't know what was going on. It sounds like something happened.
You just turn it.
Just sounds like it's sad.
It does sound it's horrific, but you just turn into Matlock when you try and piece it all together.
Well, because of the fact that 2 dead bodies and a dead dog are found in a home with some pills, that's not normal.
And the 2 other dogs
something.
Were okay.
Yeah.
And that leads me to believe that the pills had something to do with something.
I think she was having a medical episode, was reaching for pills and collapsed.
Maybe.
The dog that died was found in the closet. They believe died of starvation.
Okay, see, I thought that the dog got a hold of some of the pills or something.
No. The other 2, one was outside, the other was in the house somewhere else. And then Gene was downstairs, fell over, looked like he'd fallen or something. So I think she had an episode, died upstairs. He's dealing with dementia and everything else, and he's not able to function himself.
Here's the other thing is they said that her body was starting to partially decompose and mummify. So my theory is she'd been dead was his too?
They said his also had evidence.
Okay, so this has been for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I was thinking that she had been up there for a while. He didn't know, again, with dementia, was downstairs and, none the wiser. But
yeah, so I think at the end of the day, this is just a series of unfortunate events that just, one sad tragedy that it's literally the Curb Your Enthusiasm, but just the opposite of funny, just sad. It just,
admittedly,
this happens, and this steamrolls into this.
For the type of career that Hackman's had, what a way to go. I mean, he's got everybody paying attention. He's got everybody talking. The man's a genius. Never let it be said that this man did not go out the way he lived with us all talking about him.
There you go. But it was and that's,
may he rest in peace.
But that's the part is, we got everybody that's a super sleuth out there. But I think,
well, that's all that crime, murder dramas you're all watching on like TLC and stuff. Yeah, investigative murder porn they call it.
Well, yeah. Well, and then the internet's got like the whole internet of super sleuths that literally spend their lives just finding these internet cases and going in and all becoming detectives all of a sudden.
Well, the Petito thing is a great example of that. I mean,
well, at the end of the day, that's what solves the case sometimes.
Yeah.
I know in the Petito one it did. There's a couple others on Netflix that at the end of the day, the internet super sleuths drummed up the evidence to make her an arrest.
If you go back to like 2018 when Making a Murderer was super hot, and everybody was talking about it, it really did like clear up a lot of things that that the prosecution was trying to push forward. The documentary was like, hey, wait a second, let's hold off on this. Plus, it got Brandon Dassey to WrestleMania. I mean, that's just fantastic.
I
don't know.
The whole Making a Murder. Then we got to get the hour going. At the end of the day, the big thing that I've come out of that is like every time I watch Bar Rescue, I think of that show.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is why. If you remember watching the documentary, the town there in Wisconsin or whatever where they're at, Manitowoc.
Manitowoc County.
Yeah. That is also home of one of the best industrial ice makers in the industry, Manitowoc. They make the ice things there.
Really?
So if you ever watch Bar Rescue,
like sculpture ice?
No, like commercial grade ice machines for bars and restaurants.
Oh, okay.
And I guess your home if you want one.
Sure.
But those big ice machines.
Yeah, okay.
Those are Manitowocs.
Huh.
And if you notice, at the end of every Bar Rescue, they thank all their sponsors. Every single episode, Manitowoc is one of the ones that announcer mentions. And Esri, Manitowoc and Esri. I've seen a lot of Bar Rescues. And he always ends with Esri. But and so every time that list goes down, I hear Manitowoc, I think of Making a Murderer because and I think they do talk about the ice plant or the ice company or the manufacturer. I think it does get mentioned in the documentary at some point.
That's hilarious. Yeah, because you don't think about that. There's one place that manufactures all of that one thing. Case in point, the town I grew up in is Medill, Oklahoma. There's a factory just outside of Medill called WW Trailer Company. They manufacture mostly livestock and animal carry trailers, but they do all different types of trailers. It's a huge factory out there. Half the town, when I was growing up, worked at WW. You still see them. I was here in Roswell and I saw a WW trailer, like outside of the KFC. And I'm like, oh, look at that. And it just takes you right back to those places.
So that is my sense memory from
Manitowoc.
Making a Murder.
Plus, it's just fun to say.
I think of that weird bearded dude every time I see it.
I don't know.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show and get her going. We are going to replay this hour. Last week we had from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, Lori Dudick and Amy McVeigh-Tejas talking about teen leadership, which the end of this week is the deadline to sign up. The event's in April, but we'll play that interview for you here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have a bevy of guests. We'll start off with, on the phone, we're going to have John Hauser join us from Eastern New Mexico University in Portales. Here on the 21st, they've got an event here in Roswell, State of Eastern event that's going to be happening from 7 to 9 at the Anderson Museum here in Roswell. So John's going to talk about that. And then also next hour, we're going to have Peggy Boland join us talking camp invention.
'Tis the season.
I know it's a couple months away, but now's the time to start
prep time.
Plotting, planning, and signing up. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, John and Crystal Noble from Roswell Seed, wearing their Roswell Seed hat, will join us and talk I'm going to guess planting and all that good stuff. Since weather's all weather for that soon.
Planting here in the all four season.
Yeah. March is officially all of that. So, oh, by the way, we got wind galore and all that. We'll get you up to date with that here in just a bit. But first, actually, let's go ahead and do that. Tell you about the wind. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Strong low pressure moving through the central Rockies. We won't be seeing any rain with that, but we will have very gusty wind today, up to 50 miles an hour at times. Sunshine with a few clouds, and we're in the mid-70s on the afternoon high. It'll stay windy overnight, clear, and we're in the upper 30s, and then gusty again on Tuesday. Sunny, and we're in the upper 60s, wind gusting to 50. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me scroll up here, 41 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 41%. Winds are out of the southwest at 6 miles per hour. Today, we have a red flag warning and a high wind warning. That'll kick in at 10 a.m. this morning. Those will remain in effect through 7 p.m. this evening. And then again tomorrow, which these will probably get upgraded, fire weather watch and high wind watches for tomorrow. The high wind watch from 5 a.m. until 5 p.m. tomorrow. The fire weather watch from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. tomorrow. I'm going to take a stab. Those will get upgraded to red flag and high wind warnings, much like we're going to have today. The reason for that, the wind will be blowing. Patchy blowing dust for this afternoon. Sunny and 75, that's the nice part, but the winds will be up out of the south, 5 to 15 early. As the day progresses, those winds will increase 30 to 40 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as 55 miles per hour later this afternoon. Tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 38. Winds will remain blowing out of the west, 20 to 30. Could see wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. Tuesday, more wind and a little cooler. Patchy blowing dust during the day. Sunny, high of 68 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the northwest, 30 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, patchy blowing dust. Expect an overnight low of 33 with winds out of the northwest, 15 to 20. Winds will finally die down 5 to 10 after midnight Tuesday night. Wednesday, mid-60s, sunny and 66. Winds calmer out of the south, 5 to 10 early, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Thursday, we're looking at more wind and blowing dust with a high of 74. Friday, 66 and breezy. And then, are you serious? Okay. Friday night, a chance of rain and snow showers. I saw and snow. It's kind of like, we're looking at 30% chance of precip Friday night, 20% chance of precip on Saturday, highs in the 50s. So a little cooler for the weekend. And so kind of a mixed bag of just hot and windy for a couple days and then cold and windy for the back half, it looks like. All right, 7:23. Let's get you into your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten. Quick break, and then we'll play our interview with the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A nice early spring run for today. We expect to sell 1,600 head, breaking down like this: 100, 125 weight cows and bulls, 75 to 100 pairs of bred cows, 1,400 calves and yearlings. In conjunction with today's sale, we'll have the 22nd annual New Mexico Angus Association Bull Sale, featuring 50 registered Angus bulls from top New Mexico breeders. Sale starts 1 o'clock. Plan to attend if you need high-quality Angus bulls, trick and fertility tested. Catalogs available at the sale. Like I said, sale time today on the Angus bulls, 1 o'clock. Today's sale will also include 10 to 15 cow-calf pairs, mostly black white face, red white face with black calves. Pairs 5 to 10 years old, 50 to 60 bred cows, 5 to 10 years old. 75 calves, the Taylor Ranch here west of Roswell. Good quality black and red crossbred calves. Cattle wean 75 days, 3 rounds of shots. Bunk broke, thin condition, 350, 475 pounds. 161 light heifer yearlings, a 2T partnership, Pecos, Texas. Reputation quality, cattle weaned 100 days, 3 rounds of shots. PI negative off of short wheat. Approximately 100 head of these will be black white face Angus crosses in the 450, 600 pound range, and 60 head of red white face and Charolais crossbreds, 600 to 800 pounds. 208 calves and light yearlings, the Gresham Ranch, Portales, New Mexico. Good quality black white face, red white face and Charolais crosses. Cattle wean 60 to 90 days. 1 round of shots off short wheat, medium condition. About 150 steers, 60 heifers, 400, 650 pounds. 183 long-age calves, Corlitas Ranch, Fair Acres, New Mexico, out west of Las Cruces. Good quality black Brangus, mostly heifers, weaned long time, 1 round Bovershield Gold 7-way, thin condition right off dry grass, 250, 550 pounds. 42 calves, Frisco River Ranch, Las Cruces, New Mexico, excellent quality black Angus and Brangus crosses, cattle weaned 60 days, 1 round of shots, 350, 450 pounds. 34 calves, Mr. Wayne Netherland down at Artesia, excellent quality black white face Angus crossbred calves, cattle weaned 30 days, 1 round of shots, 400, 550 pounds. And 26 calves, the Bar Guitar Ranch, Picacho, New Mexico, excellent quality mostly black white face Angus and Brangus crosses, cattle weaned 45 days, 1 round of shots, 400, 550 pounds. Sale time this morning will be 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows about 9:45. Sell the calves and yearlings starting about 10:30. And then we'll sell the New Mexico Angus Association bull sale at 1 o'clock. Very short on cows and bulls for today, but be on calves and yearlings by 10:30, so don't be late. We expect to sell 1,600 head. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The main event car show and cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiast, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Luggage Tax.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
Tired of living with chronic pain? Soft Wave Therapy from Premier Chiropractic in Roswell is here to help.
I couldn't believe it. My knee pain is practically gone after just a few sessions.
Soft Wave Therapy for Premier Chiropractic uses cutting-edge sound wave technology to target inflammation and stimulate your body's natural healing process. No surgery, no downtime, just real relief.
Now I can finally enjoy life again with no shoulder pain.
Don't let pain hold you back. Discover the power of Soft Wave Therapy today from Premier Chiropractic in Roswell. Call now for your free consultation at 623-2900 or visit healthyroswell.com. Soft Wave Therapy from Premier Chiropractic, 1301 North Richardson in Roswell. Restoring life.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us. And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, Lori Dudick and Amy McVeigh-Teas back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody doing this morning?
We're great.
Beautiful day.
Can I say the weather's nice? It feels spring-like.
It is.
Beautiful out there.
Yeah, springish, which now kind of makes it feel more appropriate for what we're about to talk about.
Yes.
Because coming up here, April 11th, is the annual Leadership Roswell Alumni Association's Teen Leadership Institute. That's a lot of words to say in one sentence. But this has been going on. And we had Damon and them on last week, and we were talking. It's been at least 20 years.
Actually, it's been 29 years.
29 years. We were trying to get the number. So Lori comes in with the official numbers here. So
yes.
I knew it's been a long time that that's been doing it. And this is and for years we of course partnered with the New Mexico Military Institute to kind of help. They're kind of in the leadership business over there. So good people to partner with in this type of event here. But of course, over the years it's evolved from like a 1 day to a 2 day to 3 day. It's back to a 2 day event, and it will be April 11th and 12th. And this is and if you've never heard of it, this is for high school juniors and seniors.
Yes.
And repeat customers are welcome. So if you're a high school junior and participated last year, come on down.
I think the challenge is out. I've seen the list of applicants, and I don't know if we have anybody from last year. So
really?
The challenge is out. I could be wrong.
We want you to
probably
come back.
listening, and I'll stand corrected. Desi texts me. But I think the challenge is out there.
Good.
I think we'd love to have them back because they can show the others how it's done.
Well, that's right. Exactly.
They got their feet wet the first year.
You get to practice what you learned last year.
That's it. And it's all new. We have all new speakers, and so it's not like they're repeating the same exact course.
Yeah,
it'll be something new and exciting every single year.
Yeah, that's it. That's the kind of thing. I mean, the goal's the same.
Yes.
But it's kind of an evolution to it. So, if you year one, you're going to take more from it in year two. And like you said, some of the exercises are different, but the same in a little bit. Yet we're still going to put you up high and doing things that put you out of your comfort zone.
Definitely.
That's all part of the experience.
I know the challenge has been out there before on the best leadership class ever type thing. I might say we're working on one of the best years ever.
Yeah,
with what we're
throwing some gauntlets.
I
agree. Or we're working to be at the top.
Absolutely. Yes. But the cool part about it is, like you said, we got a 29-year history here, and over the years, you get alumni coming back, and the great part about it is every one of these now grown adults going on to be productive citizens in life are going on to, and every single one of them come back and say, man, not everything they're attribute from that weekend, but they point out to a lot of things saying, you know what? This weekend really motivated me, inspired me to move on to do this thing. And so the credit is all theirs. They're the ones that did the work. But the things they learned in that 2 day or 3 day, depending on when they went and did it, they're still utilizing those skill sets today in their lives. And that's the great part.
I think it's always exciting when you see them go through Teen Leadership Roswell, and then, because it's been 29 years, now they're going through the adult class.
Right. They're kind of full circle moment.
Super cool, to see that.
Yeah.
To see that experience and see how they've evolved through the years, their leadership, and they're still focused. But the one thing that I really like to encourage people to realize about teen leadership, it's not for the already teen leader. It's for the emerging teen
Absolutely.
leader.
We're developing leaders.
I was talking to a mother, and she said, you know what, my son's a little, trepidatious. He's not real excited. I said, that's exactly that's the one we want. We want to pull out the leader that's in them, that we know is hidden in them.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, too, and this is something that every human being needs to understand. We are all leaders.
Exactly.
In some way, shape, or form, or circle. Whether it's your own family, whether it's at your workplace, whether it's at a civic group, whether it's in your social friends or something like that. You do serve leadership roles. So regardless of what your goals or aspirations are in life, the skill sets you're going to learn at the Teen Leadership Institute will serve you well. Whether you're going to be an artist solo, because you're still going to have to navigate and talk with people. And deal with life.
And I definitely think it even helps you as a parent.
Absolutely.
Later on, all these teens someday will be parents, and you want to encourage your children to do things outside of the comfort zone, to do these things that they haven't or never would have considered themselves doing, to go out and do.
We're transforming. We're transforming, because I think another thing that I really noticed even last year is I think some of these individuals that really think they're these powerful leaders, we pull out these characteristics to balance the dynamics of which perhaps were hidden. I think we could all agree we don't need that big cheerleading horn to screech at the rooftops with volume to be that leader, and we're finding those characteristics that can really pull and unify.
Different leaders.
Absolutely,
There's different types of leaders.
And I would even maybe make an argument that, as we learn that the most effective leaders aren't leaders that pigeonhole themselves in one style of leadership.
Exactly.
Where okay, maybe this time it's time to play the little tougher. But in this moment, it's more the mentor, it's more the motivator,
or
it's more the cheerleader, or the servant. You're absolutely right. A good leader knows when to lead, when to follow, and when to just let the room do what the room's going to do.
The powerful point in those teams is when we're all as leaders sitting back and saying that one dynamic individual, that silent servant soul. Has the answer.
Yeah.
Well, and they learn to work. They learn to work in a team.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, and I think that's part of what learning what is a leader, and most people, if you say leader, they'll say dictator, and that's like
absolutely
that's a form of leadership, I guess. But is that
but not the best.
leader? You know what I'm saying? And that's what But that being said, I'm not going to say there is not a time in a moment where maybe a little dictatorship is what's needed for the moment.
Or a cheerleader.
Exactly.
Cheering on with the ball.
Definitely.
To be able to evolve and adapt and to adjust to the situation is a real true mark of leadership.
Exactly.
And to be able to, when you look at, and think about it, you look at all the leaders that society admire, and whether it's in the sports world or the political world or the history, wherever that is, you look and you start reading the history and learning about these people. They're dealing with all the same things you are, the things we're teaching, there's the struggles. The people that we think of as great, they didn't just roll out the bed and be great.
That's right.
They had to learn to be there. They had to. George Washington, we look at, and you know what? There's a lot of George Washington's life that we look at and say, whoa, that was dumb. There was history to, but he had to learn to get there. You know what I mean? That's what we're all, we learn about, these great people. We didn't learn about the years in the books that they were growing up as kids and doing or whatever, developing life challenges and things like that. And so this is what teen leadership is. You get to learn,
exactly.
If you want to be the next Neil Armstrongs or whoever out there, they all started at places like this.
Exactly. You don't even realize what's inside of you until it's challenged to come out.
Yep.
You know that we have a volunteer that's one of our leaders that assists, and it's my daughter. She actually went through the teen leadership group probably 10, 12 years ago. And she said, last year, Mom, I want to give back. I want to help out my community. What can I do? She's a young mother now.
That's great.
She's
Gave her
married.
The server's heart.
And so, so she's one of our leaders. And it's exciting to have her. That's Amanda.
And that's another, this is another aspect of it, too, that, and this is kind of the ancillary stuff because this program, and we haven't really talked as much about that. It really is youth driven and youth run. The adults are in the room to kind of guide and to keep everybody on task. But at the end of the day, the youth are kind of the curriculum to solve it. They're utilizing leadership skills in doing this stuff. And with that, it develops the things that not even instructors can teach. It's that the human dynamic, the interaction, talking with people, dealing with problems, overcoming problems, putting them in scenarios where they're forcing people to talk to each other and do things that may and when we grew up, that was, I wouldn't say less important, but we had more opportunities to do it because of the technology. But technology is kind of changing that a little bit.
It is.
And that's, I've got to be honest, that's a real problem we are going to have to tackle is human interfacing and interaction where we live in a world where we're doing less of that. We cannot not teach that. And so teen leadership, that's all that is
we
unify.
That human interaction. I think one of the things we're proud of is we try to get as many school representation members, whether it's county, whether it's city. And at the end of the day, the dynamic component of this is unifying, whether it's Roswell High, Goddard, Early College, and at homeschool, Dexter, Artesia, Fort Sumner.
That's what we love to see, like your homeschools and things like that.
Think of what a powerful dynamic, and I think that's something to be said for our community in general.
Respect the differences
of other people.
Yes, and celebrate them.
And especially, and that's the funny part. We joke about it, but it's true. You'll have bulldogs and cavemen and rockets and coyotes all together.
Warriors.
Holding hands.
And that is beautiful. Oh, and youth challenge.
Oh, yes, there's a youth challenge.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you challenge.
But if we have not mentioned a name, that tells us we want more.
Yes.
We'd love more representation.
And it's just interesting because they don't realize.
Bring some demons and some, bring them all in.
They just don't realize how much they have in common.
Yeah.
They always see what they don't
There's like 37 wildcats out there. Let's bring some wildcats in there.
Throw them in there.
But at the end of the day, they take their colors off. They have our beautiful TLI T-shirt on, right?
They all have a matching shirt on.
Yeah.
So we don't know who's from what school.
That's right.
And we actually try to break them up. You know, we don't want all of one school to be together.
Well, and that's part of the thing. It's like, because, people grab it to people they know. So right, you just watch all the debates. Like, okay, watch the group. Now let's break that one up, break that one up, and break that one up.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, they're not going to their go-to person.
Well, that's the cool part.
We love that.
They've made some lifetime friends, actually.
At lunch.
By the end of day 2, they're all, there's new little circles and new little.
And they're cheering each other on, and they're excited about their own achievements.
Sure.
So, yes.
Celebrating one another.
And I would imagine there's even a few of those moments where they knew each other in a rival situation.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
And then they're meeting them in a non-rival situation.
Yes.
And you tend to learn a lot of
They're
people.
very neutral, yes.
Then you realize, oh man, they're just me in a different color uniform. You know what I mean?
So true.
You tend to find out.
Yes,
true. It's just,
and you talk about things that you normally would never talk about, like your strengths and your weaknesses.
Absolutely.
And that's exciting. And to know that the person, right across from me has the same insecurities that I have. That's a beautiful moment when they find that
powerful.
And that's the beauty of, yes, we're teaching leadership, we're teaching, but it's really teaching humanity. It's teaching what makes us common, and that's in a world where we celebrate the individual, which is nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we get lost in celebrating the individual that we miss the greater good.
Yes.
And this reminds us of the greater good sometimes.
To see it look around and reach out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really is.
And then one other big, humongous bonus that we haven't even talked about is the scholarship.
That's right, money.
Yes, there's money involved.
The dangle of the carrot.
Yes. It costs nothing to participate in this event. The Teen Leadership Program, there is no fee. So parents can't say, well, I can't afford it this year. Well, you can't afford not to do this because it is
the
free.
only thing we're asking is your time.
Yes,
that's right.
Exactly.
And it's very, very.
And it's going to be time well spent
for
your
application is very
student.
simple. I think we need to be very clear that this is not something you can apply for on paper.
Right.
That they have to apply. They have to apply through the Google documents.
Well, and this is something we want to make. We're wrestling. We want to get as many people interested in applying, but space is limited. We only have X amount of slots.
I think we're taking 30.
It's first come, first serve. It's so we got to get here early.
And the deadline's right around the corner,
March
the 7th.
But part of that process is following the instructions and doing it to the way.
The simple
and
direction.
It's kind of like, think of it like when you apply for scholarships.
Exactly.
Part of the scholarship applying process to seeing if you can follow instructions and follow the part. That is a test, folks. That's not that's by design. They do this. So there's a little of that going on here. So we want to, and so even if it might, put it this way, if you have questions, don't hesitate to call any alumna member. Certainly you can call Amy or Lori or myself or Damon or any of the alumni that and they'll be happy to get you signed up here.
And the links are through the Roswell Chamber.
Yeah.
Yes.
So many of them.
Or they can even email. They can even email RoswellTeenLeadership@gmail.com.
Absolutely. And then, of course, if you're a Facebooker, if you Leadership Roswell alumni.
And share this information.
Yeah, they'll get out there, share it, but you'll find it out there, and you'll usually find links to an application there. But here's the thing. Now, the event itself will be the 11th and 12th of April.
Yes.
But coming up here in a few short weeks is the deadline to register for actually, and it's about a month prior.
Right, March the 7th.
So we're looking, is that next week?
Yes.
Holy cow, that is next week,
next
isn't
Friday.
it? Yeah, that's next week, next Friday. We're basically a week away from the deadline here.
Can you believe that?
It's incredible.
And here's the deal. They don't like to extend this because there's a lot of moving parts and logistics that have to happen, and they need head counts and numbers and all this stuff. And anything past the 7th is going to seriously hamper their abilities to do that.
That's exactly right. Meals will be provided. One thing we haven't mentioned that I think is so important, if you're listening and you really do not have any involvement with youth, I can't think of a better way for you to invest. We're still looking for sponsorships in any capacity.
This is the thing, too, is they give away thousands of dollars in scholarship money at the end of this. The cool part is high school juniors, high school seniors are both eligible for the scholarships. If you were awarded one in the junior year, you can come back and double dip year 2. This is part of it.
We want you to.
We encourage it and recommend that you do that. The other part is the students have a hand in the selection of these things. It's not just a couple of people saying, "Oh, that kid seemed good. Let's give him a scholarship." No, it's really the group that kind of who's worthy, who's kind of that's part of the process. So it makes it much more impactful. It makes it. But here's the deal. Because of the only way we can do this is through the generosity of private donors and things. We're very blessed with some very businesses and private donors that have contributed thousands of dollars over 29 years of doing this. We keep trying to bigger and outdo ourselves each and every year. Almost every year we win on that one.
And we're going to go 30 for 30 next year. But we have to get through this year.
So the real thing is the donors, the people. Right. If you're a business or an organization or an individual, and you really value what the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association is doing here, we're asking you to invest in these kids because at the end of the day, these high school seniors and juniors are going to be the next city councilors. They're going to be the next mayors. They're going to be the next county commissioners.
Our
they're going to be our next.
Yeah,
these are going to be the folks that when we're sitting on our chair, hollering and moaning about getting off our lawn and all that nonsense. Can't wait to get to that age, by the way. I've been excited. I just want to say things and they just chalk it up. Well, don't worry about it. Can't wait to get there. But when we're along doing that, these are going to be the folks that are running the show. And so
that's right.
We want to equip them with everything we can to do it. And as a parent, I would think you would want to give every tool in the tool bag available to your child for whatever their dream is.
Believe in them.
And this is the thing and please, this is the thing I want. This isn't some ticket to NIMI. This isn't some path to military. This isn't. Now, if your goals are those things,
we'll help you get there.
100%.
But it does not matter if your goals are to have a bright future, which I'm pretty sure we all have that one.
That's right.
This is going to help you in getting that, whatever you take it, whether you're, I want to be a chef. I want to be an artist. I want to be
the best version of themselves.
A professional baseball player. I want to be a nurse. Whatever it is, this will help you get there.
And graduating from this program, I think, looks wonderful on resumes.
Exactly.
We've talked about that so much.
It's a great bullet point for college degrees and applications and all that.
Shows you have initiative.
Yes.
Well, and I don't know. I'm not totally up. It's been a minute since I've been playing in this world, but I've always thought when colleges, they're always looking for well-rounded individuals, people that are have usually a
community mind,
a jack of many trades kind of thing, or at least a person that's broad. Because you're a young person, you're not supposed to be good at 20 things, but at least be exposed to 20 things. That's kind of the way you look at it. And so they're looking to see, well, how worldly you are. How are you in your own little bubble, or are you cognizant of the world around you? And things like this give them evidence to say, this person might be pretty well read and well versed on life.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, for sure.
And so this is the evidence they use to do that. So please, if you are a high school junior or a high school senior, I also believe you can probably hit up your high school guidance counselors at pretty much every high school within the sound of my voice that and you can get applications there as well too. Parents, if you're hearing about this, please put the bee in your bonnet for your high school, because from your standpoint, it's like you want a little lighter pocketbook expense for whatever's coming next. It's coming. Encourage your child to do this out.
Well, and that last minute individual, I think, needs to do a little bit of work. We're needing some letters of rec. We're needing we need that information. So you need to get involved.
You got about a week left, but this isn't just something you can crank out in an hour. You need to put, much like the Leadership Roswell application, for which we'll probably have some folks coming here in a month or two to talk about that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's so exciting.
The same folks, but the next class they'll be graduating here in a couple months, and the new class will start right after that.
Exactly.
So.
This well-oiled engine, right?
Yep.
Just keeps
and guess what? August will be here for you know it. I know it's only February now, but we blink an eye and it'll be August.
This will be here before we know it.
Yeah, right. Kids will be graduating. It's the whole thing. But
so true.
But yes, but we're basically a week out for registration here, March 7th by end of business. You need to get these applications in. If you see the applications, there is a little QR code that you can scan and do, and your kid probably knows all about it. So if your parent, ask the high school junior or senior that is applying, they know more about it than you do.
Oh, yes.
Let them navigate through that. But get that done. Be on their bonnet about this one, and get those applications. Like we said, we're not looking to extend deadlines or any of that stuff. So we want to make sure you get these applications in by end of business here on the 7th. So that way we can make sure there's enough food, there's enough shirts, make sure our people that have been kind enough to sponsor this get their mentions and all that stuff. And please reach out to anybody, Damon, Desi, Amy, Lori, myself. If you want to help out, sponsor this thing, please reach out to the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. $100, $50, $1 million, whatever you got, will help push another scholarship for another student here. It would be kind of cool if we could give everybody a scholarship. I know that's a little shooting for the moon, but
anything's possible. Can we agree on that?
I agree.
Absolutely. But and if you know what, if you want to learn more about it, I invite you to come out that weekend and just watch and observe. You want to see where your money's being spent? Come out and watch it.
You won't be disappointed.
See what you're investing into, and come be a part of it here. And I would invite you to learn more about Leadership Roswell. And if you're an alum out there, I'm going to throw that, Pat. There's 30 plus years. Lord, do you know the number?
I think 41.
41. Okay. I was like, did we hit the fours yet?
I think so. 41 years.
I was like, Laura's in the room. She knows these things.
You better believe it. That's for sure.
There's 41 years of Leadership Roswell.
Yes.
30 on average class per year. That's a lot of alum.
Yes.
There's a mixer tonight.
That's right. There's a mixer at the Liberty.
At the Liberty.
Yeah.
Just for people who haven't.
Do you have to RSVP or can you just show up? I know there was
you can show up.
I think there's a thing on Facebook and it said just RSVP in the comments.
Social media.
It said just like RSVP in the comments. But I think at this point, if you rolled up in there and you might get the Norm for Cheers moment and sit down and.
Well, I think that's so important. If you haven't been involved for a while, get involved.
Yes.
And we're looking for more alum to get more involved with team leadership, but also with the Leadership Roswell program.
Yes.
You can never have enough.
No.
I'm just saying, we've had a lot of great people that have been a part of this program for so many years.
Good.
We're not going to be blessed to have them forever.
That is so
We need
true.
the next generation.
We do.
To fill that void.
I love the Alumni Association, though, with the youth and some of the veterans, and then the mix in between.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yep. And that's what, I mean, I think we're just, like I said, after 40 years of this, we're getting to where batons are going to be passed and things like that. Yes. And we need the next generations. We need the folks that were part of this over the last 30 years come back to the fold and see and get back to seeing what this is about and helping out and it starts. Come out with the teen leadership. Come out in April here, 11th and 12th. Come on out.
See how it works,
and
they'll be very impressed.
Come out to the Liberty tonight and have a beverage or two with some folks and let's see what happens. Chit chat. More conversations happen over a drink sometimes.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
And if you have a high school junior or a high school senior, please look research, look into the Teen Leadership Institute. Sign up for this. It's free to sign up. And they can end up with a couple grand in scholarship money by the end of the day, depending on the weekend and everything else. But I will tell you this: whether they walk out of there with a check or not, what they will walk out of there with is some valuable skills that will serve them until the day they leave this earth.
That is
exactly
100%.
Good deal. Do we miss anything? Did we get anything?
I think
Did we
you
cover
got
the gamut?
it all.
Yeah. Cover the gamut. I get like this because I see it's important. This
is so powerful.
If I don't care what side of political fences you're on, if you're mad at the world and everything in it right now, you know how you fix it? It's not yelling on Facebook.
No.
It's investing in this
there.
stuff like this,
Yes.
doing stuff like this. Getting on the Roswell government pages or whatever pages or talk pages and calling everybody Nazis or whatever else you want to do on there. That feels fun, I guess, for half a minute till you burn that bridge and then you go see them at Walmart later. That's always awkward. But anyway, you can do all that. Or maybe let's invest time and money into our future, into our
change you want to see,
and let's instill the values into our future.
Exactly.
that's what we're doing here. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Mike. We really appreciate it.
Anytime. And we'll see y'all next time here.
We'll be back.
We will
be back. That was a threat. I'm just kidding. Thank you, ladies. We'll see you next time.
I'm Jared Sorello. Xcel Energy says it's closely monitoring and preparing for forecasted severe weather with high winds and low relative humidity in the Texas and New Mexico service territories. Excessively dry conditions, high fuel loads like dead or dry brush and trees, and significant wind speeds across the region will create an elevated risk of wildfire, expected to peak in New Mexico today and tomorrow. Because of the high wind and associated wildfire risk, some customers may experience power outages. Xcel Energy crews are on standby to restore power for customers quickly and safely if an outage does occur. Another earthquake close to home, this time Sunday afternoon in Culberson County, Texas. That's about 49 miles south of Carlsbad. The quake registered 4.2 magnitude just after 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. The U.S. Geological Survey said the quake was relatively shallow, just over 4 miles in depth, but would have been felt strongly near the epicenter. No damage has been reported at this time. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
You threw out a lowball offer on eBay, hoping the seller bites. Now you wait and nothing. Should you move on? I'm Kim Commando for Total AV, the award-winning antivirus software for just $19 the first year at protectwithkim.com. Want to snag a real deal on eBay? Patience just isn't a virtue. It's a strategy. You see, researchers analyzed millions of transactions and found something interesting. The longer it takes for a seller to reject you, the better shot you have at scoring a bargain. If it's been a couple of hours and they said no way to your lowball, go in with a slightly higher offer. You have them on the hook. Now, what if you're bidding on an eBay auction? Most people bid during the day, but the real pros strike at the last second. Drop your max bid just before the auction ends. eBay's bidding system automatically increases your bid in response to competing bids, up to your maximum limit. Just don't get caught up in the moment and overpay. Yeah, we've all done that. Be sure to get my free newsletter at getkim.com. I hear this a lot. Bob from Chicago wrote me, I thought I was being careful. I got an email from my bank that looked legit. It said that there was suspicious activity, so I logged in to secure my account. A minute later, my money was gone and I was locked out of my account. Wow. Even the most careful people can get caught up by these clever hackers and scammers. That's why you need solid antivirus protection that instantly blocks harmful malware threats and viruses in real time, keeping your personal data and identity safe. Total AV is the award-winning antivirus software that I use and trust, and so do 35 million other people. Now, it could have stopped this from happening. Here's what you need to do. Go to protectwithkim.com right now and get Total AV for just $19 for the first year, covering up to 5 devices, including Windows, Macs, and smartphones. That's protectwithkim.com. Now, don't wait. I want you to go right now. Your security matters. Get protected right now. Go to protectwithkim.com.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The seedings were announced and brackets over the weekend for the upcoming state basketball tournament. So let's look at the boys' side where the Roswell Coyotes and Goddard Rockets are both in it. Roswell is the 4th seed, and they'll host someone they played before 3 times. Carlsbad, it'll be Saturday at 6 o'clock. Carlsbad's the 13th seed. Goddard squeaked into the field in Class 4A as the 16th seed with an 11-15 record. They'll play at number 1 St. Pius this Saturday at 5 o'clock. In Class 3A, NMMI, the 12th seed, will play at Bosque School in Albuquerque Saturday at 5 o'clock. Hagerman is the 10th seed in Class 2A, and they'll play at number 7 Rehoboth. That'll be Saturday at 3. Gateway Christian, the 9th seed in Class 1A at number 8 Cliff this weekend. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett. Skype is going away.
Microsoft says it's retiring Skype in May, shifting some of its services to Microsoft Teams, its flagship video conferencing platform. Skype users can use existing accounts to log into Teams, which Microsoft has prioritized over Skype.
That's George Williams. Ongoing tariff threats from Washington and potentially sweeping government job cuts have darkened consumers' mood and may be weighing in on an otherwise mostly healthy economy. Data released Friday show that consumers slashed their spending by the most since February 2021, even as their incomes rose. Wall Street closed its dreary February on a brighter note as U.S. stock indexes rallied. The S&P 500 jumped 1.6% Friday to trim its loss for the month, enough to make it the worst only since December instead of since April. The Dow Jones climbed 1.4% and the NASDAQ Composite added 1.6%. For the Wall Street Business Report, Bernie Bennett, Washington.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Ceasefire as European countries, led by Britain and France, look at options for peace. France has floated a proposal for a month-long initial truce that could pave the way for talks. Meanwhile, Moscow is happy with the growing divide between the U.S. and Europe over Russia's war against Ukraine.
President Putin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, spoke of a fractured West. He's not wrong, but European leaders are trying to formulate proposals to try to persuade the Trump administration to agree to joint security guarantees for Ukraine to ensure any prospective peace would be fair and durable.
The BBC's Danny Aberhart. Wildfires in North and South Carolina prompted some evacuations over the weekend.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster declared a state of emergency on Sunday in response to more than 175 wildfires. West of Myrtle Beach in the Carolina Woods area, helicopters dumped water as smoke filled the sky and deputies went door to door to warn residents. But by late Sunday afternoon, evacuees were allowed to return.
Correspondent Jennifer King reporting. One person was killed, others injured when a car rammed into a crowd in southwestern Germany. A suspect is in custody. Police in Mannheim, though, have asked the public to stay away from the downtown area. Israel facing sharp criticism after barring the entry of all food and other supplies into Gaza. It says there will be additional consequences if Hamas does not accept what it calls a U.S. proposal for a ceasefire extension. The UN says Israel's actions violate international law. Pope Francis is in stable condition, no longer needing mechanical ventilation. The Vatican says the 88-year-old Pope, though, is not out of danger. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Trump addresses Congress tomorrow night.
President Trump delivers the first joint congressional address of his second term Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotnick gives the Democrats' response, and Democratic Congressman Adriano Espaillat gives the Spanish language response, coming days after Trump signed an executive order designating English as the official U.S. language. If you're wondering why Trump is not delivering a State of the Union address, that only comes after the president has been in office for a year. I'm Julie Walker.
The Senate votes today on Education Secretary nominee Linda McMahon. President Trump has promised to shut down the department and said he wants McMahon to put herself out of a job. Her supporters say she is a skilled executive. Opponents say McMahon is unqualified, and they fear her budget cuts will hurt students. News and analysis at townhall.com. The annual Easter egg roll at the White House isn't too far away now.
First Lady Melania Trump says preparations are underway for this spring's White House Easter egg roll. The 147-year tradition dates back to the Rutherford B. Hayes presidency in 1878. This year's event will be held on the south lawn of the White House on April 21st. Tickets are free and can be requested through an online lottery that opens March 4th and ends March 10th. The winners will be announced on March 18th. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Major League Baseball's commissioner is considering a petition to have Pete Rose posthumously removed from the ineligible list. Rose was a 17-time All-Star and is baseball's career leader with hits. He was banned from MLB back in 1989 after he was found betting on the Cincinnati Reds while playing for and managing the team. Wall Street stocks have turned lower. More at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Los Dutes.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to it. I know you had talked about the big deal in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
In my world, there was a big deal in the NFL.
Oh, really?
There was.
Seems like now's the time that they're all kind of off drinking, flowery rum drinks and relaxing for a few.
The NFL never takes.
They never sleep.
They never sleep. Like when they're not playing games, they're talking about getting new players and everything else. So
that's the management side.
This is the off-season Super Bowl.
This is the numbers game, is what this
Free
is.
agents and draft
This is
picks.
Moneyball.
Everybody talks about this player needs to go here and this goes there and that and this and all this. It's at that time.
It's when the chessboard gets set up.
Yeah, and everybody talks about how bad your team is and how your team's now going to the Super Bowl and all this. But over the weekend, Washington made a trade with the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Where they acquired wide receiver Deebo Samuel from the 49ers to the Washington Commanders in exchange for a 5th-round draft pick.
Really?
Which is nothing.
That's nothing.
This
fifth
guy
round even.
We have now a stud duo at wide receiver with Scary Terry and Deebo Samuel on the other side. People are like, Deebo washed up, and I'm like, Deebo was hurt last year. Deebo was disgruntled. Deebo is coming to Washington where he wants to be to play with Jaden Daniels. He's in a contract year, which means he wants to get paid next year.
Sure.
Which means he's going to come in sunshine and rainbows. This is good. And all I've seen all the weekend is 2 things that make me laugh. A bunch of Philadelphia Eagle fans that are talking about how it's trash trade and it doesn't matter because right now, it seems like in the Twitter world, the Eagles just won the Super Bowl and all this.
Yeah.
But Commanders are living rent-free in every one of their heads because all they do is quash and complain about Jaden Daniels and this and that because they know that you're getting it now, but the future's coming. And it's going to make you irrelevant.
They felt it this year. Next year, it's going to sting. Although, I can't help, and I'm not... there's always that scene from that movie, and I always call it The Replacements, and it's not. It's the comebacks.
Oh, yeah.
With Dave Koechner as the coach. I just always go back to that one scene where they've got that player, Asil Turi.
With the ACL.
ACL tear! Can you stop calling me that, coach? ACL tear, get out there. And then just the horrific way that everything happens to him. He gets stomped down by a marching band. I think a bus crashes into him. He gets up, and then just the way they show his leg breaking just off of the step is one of the most horrific scenes I've ever seen in cinema. And this isn't a comedy.
Right.
So I always think of that one scene whenever you talk about, oh, this is our guy. This is going to be it.
By the way, in that scene, I'm pretty sure he messed up not only his ACL, but his MCL.
MCL, his meniscus. It all got towed. But of course, also as a Packers fan, just the schadenfreude that was Brett Favre's first 3 plays with the Jets, just where he just destroyed his ankle. I mean, it's poetic justice.
Well,
it really is.
Happen. But I am excited because Washington made a big move at wide receiver, and
it's going to be
it's a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
Debo would not be good on some teams. Washington, it's a need they need badly.
Well, Daniels needs good receivers. He needs people to throw to. He can't do it all himself.
And
even Brady had a Gronk.
And Washington front office and Debo have a history.
Mm-hmm.
The general manager for the Washington Commanders was an assistant general manager with the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh.
He's very much part of bringing Debo to San Fran, along with McCaffrey and all those other guys. Now he's doing this in Washington.
It's weird how certain coaches, certain staff, they have their guys.
That's the NFL.
It's almost like Judd Apatow. It's like this coach has his set roster of I need these key players to make it work.
And this is this is exactly what Washington's done.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Washington's head coach, he's from Dallas.
Right.
In the offseason, we signed like 4 Dallas guys, most of them on defense, but there was an O lineman too, which he was a stud for. And almost every one of those guys produced well for us. They weren't like busto picks.
Yeah.
I don't know if all are going to stick with the team because now the team's getting better. Now that they've got money, they've got cap space,
but now
they've got all kind of the attention dollars on them.
Now's the time to kind of shift in the new and kind of slough off the old that wasn't doing it for them.
Yeah, and it's Washington's a complete culture overhaul from ownership on down. That's why it's such a weirdly unique situation. It is very, very rare in the NFL to have a complete culture change from ownership all the way down, because owners usually are there for 100 years.
Yeah,
and so what you're seeing in Washington right now, I don't know you could pull off in 99% of NFL franchises, just because you're literally having a culture change. This is why the team has gone from, like, another thing that happened last week that's kind of saying, oh, the Commanders are back, folks.
Yeah.
Is every year, oh, there's my call. We'll have to do this later. Let's do this. Let's take a break. We're going to talk with John Hauser here from Eastern New Mexico University in Portales, talking about an event they've got coming up. So let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with John Hauser here on the other side. Don't go away. Is our other guest here too? Okay. Well, they'll join us here in a little bit. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk with John Hauser from Eastern New Mexico University in Portales. Don't go away.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here. You know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on, with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manat from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 14 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us on the phone this morning from Eastern Mexico University in Portales, John Hauser, joining us today. Good morning, John. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We're doing good up here, just holding on to our hats with the wind that's supposed to come through here today.
Yeah, we're dealing with the same deal. We got the high wind warnings and watches and all that good stuff, red flag stuff. So yeah, we'll I guess if anything blows your way, we'll grab it for you, and vice versa if the wind's
Yeah. You know, we're used to it up here. We call March is windy season. So the old saying, March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. We hope that holds true up here this time of year. So, but we're getting ready. They're saying 60-mile-an-hour winds today. So it's one of those fun windy days. At least it's going to be warm up here in Portales.
That's true. At least it's warm today. It's like living in a blow dryer or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But hopefully, well, fingers crossed, wind won't be a big issue. We'll be indoors, so it's not that big a deal. But on March 21st, we want to invite folks out. You guys are going to be hosting a kind of a State of Eastern event right here in Roswell at the Anderson Museum on the 21st. Tell folks a little bit about this event and what's going to be happening.
Yeah, so this is the first time we've done this probably in a long time. As long as I've been here for 10 years, we haven't done an event like this. So what we're doing is we're coming down to the Anderson Museum with our chancellor, Dr. James Johnston, and he's going to speak on the state of Eastern. And he's the chancellor over all three campuses, so he'll be giving information on through all three campuses, meaning the Portales campus, the Roswell Community College there, and the Ruidoso Community College. So,
gotcha.
So if anyone is affiliated with any of those campuses, we want to invite you out because he's going to be giving updates on both, the successes we've had this past year, as well as where he sees Eastern going in the future here. So, and all the exciting stuff that's going on. I mean, in the past year, if you've been following us, our enrollment keeps growing. We're up 6.3% over last year, with over 5,700 students in attendance at the main campus up here in Portales. And we set an all-time record for graduate students enrolled at ENMU with almost 1,500 graduate students in attendance. So it's really an exciting time to be a student here, to work at Eastern. The growth is being seen all over campus. We're currently building a brand new student academic services building up here, which is the first new building we've had on campus since we built the football stadium 10 years ago. So it's really, really an exciting time to be a Greyhound here. And not only on the academic side, but on the athletic side, if people in Roswell pay attention to our basketball teams, we got both our men's and women's basketball team heading to the Lone Star Conference basketball championships here this week as well over in Frisco, Texas. So they both had, it's tough to get in. There's like 19 teams that compete for 8 spots.
Wow.
So us making the Lone Star Conference championship in basketball has been a heck of an accomplishment as well.
Nice. So, well, of course, and that's the great thing. You come to the meeting here on the 21st, learn more, and then from there you say, hey, let's set up a campus tour. Let's go and see what life is like at Eastern in Portales there. And this is where I love, New Mexico got smart. Whatever it was, 10 years ago, with the college program and basically making every college credit seamlessly transferred from one university in New Mexico to another. So it almost makes sense. It's like, especially those requisite classes and credits that almost every degree plan needs. Why spend top dollar in the state when you can get it at Eastern, where it's very affordable? And then if your goal is to, you know what I mean? You could save a lot of money and get a quality education right here in your backyard. And the beauty of it with Eastern and Portales, especially for folks living in Roswell, it's it's far enough away where mom and dad just don't show up unannounced. But if you need to come home and do laundry and get home cooking, it's like an hour away, so or 2 hours away. No big deal.
Yeah. We're an hour and 15 minutes from Roswell there, so we get a lot of Roswell and Goddard students up here. Our football teams recruit heavily into Roswell, Goddard, Artesia, places like that, and. Like you were saying, is if you come out on Friday night, it includes a free dinner too. So if you come out Friday night at 6, well, mom and dad who are Greyhound alums or fans of the Greyhounds can come out, hear our president speak, and then Saturday morning you can turn around and get up here and come to our open house high school preview day on the 22nd,
nice.
which allows high school students to see our campus.
Yeah.
So it's really a great campus up here. We are the state university for the eastern part of the state as well. And just the growth here has been incredible. I mean, like I said, with the new buildings, we've also had Steve Loy, who is a success story on his own, who's Phil Mickelson's golf agent. He donated a bunch of money, largest single donation we've ever had,
nice.
To go ahead and rename the football and basketball stadiums after his family foundation here. So we're growing there, too, as well. And, the big thing, too, is that the president wants to emphasize that, we're continuing to work on One Eastern, which is a vision to create system-wide access to all programs offered and seamless engagement from start to graduation. So a student can say, hey, I want to go to Roswell for 2 years, start working on my RN degree. They can get their RN degree at Roswell, and then they're like, hey, I want to get my BSN to advance my career. Well, they can come here 100% online, and if they're working there in Roswell at the hospital, and get their BSN degree here at Portales. So that's a great thing about, our campuses, the 3 campuses we have here. And that's why we want to invite everybody out to come out to the state of Eastern to hear the exciting updates that we have going on. And people can RSVP to enmu.edu/stateofuniversity. Made it nice and simple there, so it's just enmu.edu/stateofuniversity, and it's just an RSVP form, and it's free for people to come to. It's from 6 to 8 on the 21st at the Anderson Museum there. We're also going to be unveiling our new interactive alumni portal, too, so we're really trying to reach out to our alumni as well, because Roswell's one of our largest alumni bases there, and so we're going to be we're saying it's the first of its kind website there. We've actually named it after the old Silverpack yearbook, so if anyone's listening and loves the old Silverpacks, it's just enmu.edu/Silverpack, and we're going to have a lot of stories, videos, ways that alumni can reconnect with the university,
nice.
And it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to showcase that off that night as well.
Very good. So please make plans to attend, whether you're your family's an alum and you've got a long history with Eastern, or you've got students that are going to be, taking on their next phase in life and they're exploring their options. Please come to this State of the University event here. Again, it's going to be on the 21st at the Anderson Museum of Contemporary Art right here in Roswell. And that's another, if you've never been to that museum and you need an excuse to go, make this that reason and go and get there a little early and tour the museum, because it's a beautiful facility. There's so much eclectic art in that place, and it's so I get there a little early if you've never been, and take a few minutes to tour it, and you'll be glad you did. So
yeah, we encourage anyone that's an alum, anyone that has students attending Eastern, or even if you're a parent and your high school students wants to look more at Eastern, come on out and hear the great things that we have going on. It'll be a fun night for everybody. We'll have dinner. And, Dr. Johnston, our chancellor, will talk about the great accomplishments of the last year at Eastern, where he sees Eastern going in the future, and it's really going to be a great night.
Absolutely. So, again, go to, I guess you could probably obviously go to Eastern New Mexico University's website, enmu.edu, and learn more there on the events there. I'm sure you could go to the Facebook and all the social medias and find links and everything for more information too.
Yes, sir. If you go to our Facebook page, we have information up there about this event as well. So I encourage everybody to come out. It'll be a great event, and we would love coming into Roswell to meet with our large alumni base down there. I have several former Roswell High School students that work for me now, so it's we're big there with Roswell and Goddard, and we love coming down there, and with the NMU and Roswell there as well. They're great partners with us, and we look forward to having everybody out on the 21st.
Excellent. Well, John, is there any other information or anything that we wanted to let folks know that we just skipped or didn't get a chance to talk about?
No, I think big thing is RSVP. It's on our Facebook page, or if you want to go to enmu.edu/State that's the short link to it. And then if people are interested in our open house as well, that's on our homepage at enmu.edu, and people can just visit there and click on our open house link and sign up if they'd like to bring their high school students up as well. And it's going to be a fun weekend between being down in Roswell and the next day up here in Port Tallis.
Absolutely, and potential, folks looking. Students to attend and things, I highly recommend. Check this out. Come to this event, and then the next day, go and see the campus and see. And what I love when you guys do those events where it's kind of see the campus type days, you kind of you have the parent side where the parents get to go and ask all the questions that they're concerned about, but at the same time, the student usually has a different set of questions and a different set of things they're interested in. You get to go off and learn that side of it. So like usually students are more interested in what campus life is like, what activities are going on and things like that. I mean, obviously important about the curriculum, but they want to know what to do when the homework's done and the class is done, and you get to learn all that while the parents are saying, well, what's their class like? Is my kid going to have access to this and that? And parents get all those questions answered and all that good stuff. So it's a really great event. So I highly recommend come Friday and then definitely head down Saturday and tour the campus and see what life at ENMU is exactly like. So.
Yeah, and that Saturday event, we give away a bunch of prizes, including like an Apple TV, Beats by Dre, $500 scholarships, and a bunch of ENMU swag stuff. So that's a fun event for students to come check out, where they can learn about campus life, like you said, and all the activities we have. And then for parents, it's important to come learn about our scholarships and the financial aid and how affordable we are, since we are the most affordable university in New Mexico. So it's a great opportunity for people to really advance their higher education without breaking the bank, as I like to say. And I'm proof of that. My wife's an Eastern alum, and she paid off her debt before she was 30, and I went to state school in Ohio, and I'm still paying my debt. So yeah, it's a difference here at Eastern.
Young folks, you don't realize that student debt thing. It is such, getting an education is so important, but when you have to spend your whole life paying for it, you know what I mean? It kind of cheap. It just doesn't, and that's why, wherever your end game is, Eastern New Mexico University can help you get there. Whether it's to start to finish or get you onto the stepping stone to the next thing, they can help you do it. That's absolutely true.
And that's a great thing about the whole system is if it's like, I don't want to go to a four-year university. Well, Roswell's there with like welding programs and aviation maintenance and stuff like that. And Riadoso has specialized programs as well. So you can look at either of those campuses too for that 2-year career and technical education degree. And if you want to get the traditional bachelor's degree, that's what Eastern's here for as well, or a master's degree. And the great thing too is we're online. So we encourage everybody to come out, learn more about the university on the 21st there in Roswell with our president's event, or come up for open house if you got high school students on the 22nd.
Absolutely. John, thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us, and we'll see you here on the 21st.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. That was John Hauser with Eastern New Mexico University in Port Tallis. That big event, again, is at the Anderson Museum of Contemporary Art here on the 21st at 6 p.m. You can go on Eastern New Mexico University Port Tallis' Facebook or their website, enmu.edu, RSVP, and get all that taken care of. All right, 8:28. Peggy Bolin, ready to talk some camp invention with us here. We're going to pause for news and weather, and then we'll talk with Peggy on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. XL Energy says it's closely monitoring and preparing for forecasted severe weather with high winds and low relative humidity in the Texas and New Mexico service territories. Excessively dry conditions, high fuel loads like dead or dry brush and trees, and significant wind speeds across the region will create an elevated risk of wildfire, expected to peak in New Mexico today and tomorrow. Because of the high wind and associated wildfire risk, some customers may experience power outages. Xcel Energy crews are on standby to restore power for customers quickly and safely if an outage does occur. Another earthquake close to home, this time Sunday afternoon in Culberson County, Texas. That's about 49 miles south of Carlsbad. The quake registered 4.2 magnitude just after 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. The U.S. Geological Survey said the quake was relatively shallow, just over 4 miles in depth, but would have been felt strongly near the epicenter. No damage has been reported at this time. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Strong low pressure moving through the central Rockies. We won't be seeing any rain with that, but we will have very gusty wind today, up to 50 miles an hour at times. Sunshine with a few clouds, and we're in the mid-70s on the afternoon high. It'll stay windy overnight, clear, and we're in the upper 30s, and then gusty again on Tuesday. Sunny, and we're in the upper 60s, wind gusting to 50. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:30, and joining us in studio this morning, talking camp invention. It's that time of year.
Yes.
Peggy Bolin back with us. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. How's weather and doing spring? I mean, it's going to be windy today, but at least it's not
Well, it
cold.
is March.
It is.
And at least it's not. You're right. At least it's not cold. Although I like the cold. I hate the heat.
Yeah, I will. Well, I don't mind the cold. It's the wind.
Yes.
Give me cold with no wind, and I'm fine.
That's
you
true.
throw 10 miles an hour in it, I want nothing to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
But just curious, you've been because I know you do a lot of STEM stuff. You work in various things and teaching and all that.
Mhm.
You've been doing any fun projects here before we talk about Camp Invention? Because you're always working with kids and launching rockets and doing all kinds of stuff. So.
Right. Well, I did circuit boards with the students this year. I got some donated from AARL.
Okay.
American Amateur Radio League,
Okay.
I think.
I got you.
I also was able to raise some funds and totally transform the science lab that was there before at All Saints, and now it's an actual science lab.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
So you're just going to town.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great.
Well, if you want a chance to experience a little of that on your own,
Mhm.
then you need to pay attention. Camp Invention's been going on for how many years now? 20, 15, between
Well,
15 and
here-
20. I mean, here in Roswell, like 15,
This would be my 16th year.
16. I know it's
I'm
between 15 and
losing
20. I was like, it's somewhere in the teens. I'm not sure which. Has it hit 20 yet? I don't know. But
Hasn't hit 20. I think I want to say 16.
it's been a lot of years now, and it's a great. This is a national camp. There's camps like Camp Invention camps all over the country. It is put on by the National Inventors Hall of Fame.
Yes.
They're the ones who've created this camp and created the concept for this camp. Peggy has been, for the last 16 or so years now,
Yeah.
been bringing this camp to Roswell, New Mexico. And it's always there in June. This year it's going to be June 2nd through the 6th.
It's always the first full
That
week in June.
First week in June.
Yep.
Back again this year at All Saints Catholic School. And this is really for elementary age kids, from kindergarten all the way up through 5th grade to get
through. Well, those entering kinder are all the way up to entering
6th grade.
Yes.
They get to work on a week of STEM projects. There's usually 4 different modules, and there's different. They all kind of focus on, and they're different every single year. So if your child has come to the last couple,
it's different again.
Different projects each year, and so they spend a week doing it. Now it's always age appropriate. So the younger, the pre-Ks and kindergartners and first graders, they're going to have a certain level of the same project. Where
Correct.
your 4th, 5th are going to get a little bit more advanced, but it's still the same project. They all work on these same different, which we'll tell you here in a bit. It's fun. It's all, and it's all different stuff. Some of it's about entrepreneurship. Some of it's about, STEM and that kind of thing.
Physics.
Some's about, each one's a different, science and math and engineering and technology. It all kind of fits in the different ways, and a little arts in there too. So it's more
Right.
STEAM than STEM.
They're bringing in more STEAM. Correct.
And so and kids love it. It's a full day of fun. You bring the kids in the morning, you drop them off, they work, and then in the afternoon, and I guarantee you're going to have a dinner of them just telling you all kinds of stories and fun things.
And I'm going to bed early because they're very tired.
And they're tired. The camp, like we said, will run June 2nd through the 6th. The camp is from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. each day during that week. The cost for the camp is $290.
Correct.
And that's before discounts and everything that we're going to tell you about here. Good news is the Inventors Hall of Fame offer discounts. Like, since we're early in the game, this is why the early bird gets the worm here. If you sign up now before the end of the month here, March 30th.
Well, March 20th.
Or March 20th.
March 20th.
Oh, I was looking at March 30th on here. Oh, 20th.
20th.
I'm sorry, my eyes are
I was going to say new glasses, maybe?
Yeah, March 20th. I'm sorry. If you enter a code FUN25 when you do the checkout, and we'll tell you all about that here in a bit, you'll save $25 off of that, but you got to get it done before the 20th here.
And that's a meal at McDonald's.
What's that?
That's a meal at McDonald's.
That's right. It is a full, like one value meal is like $20 now. So, but and here's another thing too, and this is something Peggy's been offering for years. If you're thinking that I need a little bit more help than that, we can help. Thanks to generous donors, folks over the years have been donating, and we continue to donate, and we'll need to continue to donate money. And when people come and say, "Hey, I want to do this for my kid, but $225 is a lot of money for a week. I can't afford that." Well, she said, "Well, let me help you with a partial scholarship." And all you need to do is call Peggy direct, and you won't. Normally, when you can go online to the Inventors Hall of Fame website and sign up and enter and do everything on your own.
Right.
But if you need a scholarship, if you need some help here, you will not go through that process. We'll just have you call Peggy direct. Peggy will talk to you and see what. Now, there is a rule. Peggy will never give full scholarships because she wants the family to investment, because unfortunately she's experienced in the past where they give scholarships and then the child doesn't participate, and it's kind of wasted money and we don't want that. So we want a little skin in the game from the parents too. So,
it doesn't have to be a lot, but
whatever we can afford, or whatever, that's the conversation.
Right.
Talk, let's see. And if you got multiple kids and things like that, there's discounts through the website, but also through scholarships here if we need to work on that too.
And they actually have payment plans too.
Excellent. So you can work out a payment
plan.
Right,
because payment plans are available online at invent.org/CI-SAVE.
As long as you
That's a new thing this year.
That's good. I imagine as long as it's paid off by the 2nd there, by the time the camp starts and everything else.
So,
yeah, you're
I'm
good
not
to
sure
go.
when it's supposed to be paid off.
Good deal. But again, you can go to invent.org/camp. That's kind of the link there. Or if you just go to invent.org, it'll get you there too. But you'll find a link that says find a camp near you. You click on that, you'll type in Roswell or our zip code or something that kind of gives us a locator. And there'll be one camp that pops up. You put in the right information.
We are the only, not Roswell, Georgia.
Roswell,
New Mexico.
And so then you can click that and you can register and do all that. Now, also, while you're there, Peggy's going to tell you kind of what they're going to do at this year's camp. But if you kind of want to watch more videos and see a little bit more firsthand on these projects, you'll find all of that at the website too as well. So if you want to get the kids excited, you can show them those videos and things like that to kind of give them a teaser of what they're going to be doing that week here.
And they're about a minute and a half.
Yeah, very
module.
simple, very either.
Yeah.
And basically looking at the flyer this year, it looks like you got 4 more fun ones this year, from arcade games to a little bit of magic and illusions there and everything in between. So
this is a good one. I really think this will be a good camp this year.
Good deal. So I will let you kind of start where you want to start. Kind of give the introduction of the fun things they're doing this year.
Sure. So base camp runs from 9 to 3:30, as was mentioned. We do have an early bird though, in case people can't.
Like if your work schedule is like, I got to get them in before 9. It's an additional cost, but you can bring, and it's basically more camp, but it's not taking away from the other camp. Like if you're just doing the normal program, you're not missing anything by doing this.
Right. Correct.
But at the same time, the kids aren't just sitting there staring at the wall for 2 hours for you to pick them up. They're doing activities. They're doing STEM related events and things to keep them occupied until you can pick them up or till the camp begins for the day.
Right, and that starts at 7:30. I mean, you could drop them off later than that, obviously, but it starts at 7:30 and
as
ends
early
at
as 7:30 you
5:30.
can bring them in.
And then as late as 5:30 you can pick them up. So
Gotcha.
that's really handy, except for Friday afternoon, we don't have that.
Yeah, that's kind of everyone, because the last day is the big presentation
Right.
day. The kids show
Well, we
off.
don't actually do the presentation
They don't do that?
anymore.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
It's just kind of a big last hurrah day. Kind of.
Right,
Excellent.
but we have to clean up.
Sure.
That's why.
Well, the church and school are very accommodating, but they do ask that you take care of their facilities.
Exactly. So anyway, there's 4 modules. The first one's called Claw Arcade. Campers unleash nature-inspired creativity to make their own claw machines with unique prizes.
Nice.
I know. I thought that was
Just
really
like the
cool.
ones you see at Denny's or
yeah,
Pizza Hut
exactly.
or whatever. Yeah.
And then give a confidence-boosting pitch to hook investors.
Yeah.
So it's the entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And then you can learn all the tricks too, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, those machines are set up so you to take your money, not
There's a reason.
Give you a plush bear.
Exactly. All right. So the second one's called, I love this one. It's called Penguin Launch.
Okay.
Campers team up for an eco expedition as they investigate Antarctica with a robotic assistant. It's a little penguin. It's super
cool.
cute. And then design launchers to propel plush penguins across snowy landscapes.
Oh, cool.
So when it's 110 degrees outside, they're going to be pretending they're in the Antarctica.
Learning about penguins in Antarctica and learning a little bit about launching things and stuff too. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So a little physics and a little
Exactly.
engineering in there too.
And then the next one's called In Control. And this one I like as well because I love doing road trips. Campers take the driver's seat on the ultimate road trip as they design a custom control panel and navigate their journey with help from GPS and AI tools.
Nice. So they kind of learn
Circuit boards, that kind of thing.
Plus, they get to learn adult skills.
Mhm.
Planning trips and that kind of stuff, and
Exactly.
learning those, how to navigate life a little bit. Which, that'll serve them well.
Right.
Because someday they're going to be that person. And
I
the
know,
kids are in the
behind
back.
the wheel.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Okay, and the fourth one's called Illusion Workshop. When they explore the science behind special effects, campers uncover optical illusions in movies, art, and animation before building their own moving props.
So this could even inspire the creative side. These
Oh,
kids
yeah.
that like
Yeah,
to make
there's a lot of-
movies or want to make art in, whatever, digitally or
Mhm.
any. There's a lot of tricks, tools, and things to learn in there. And so,
Right.
So all you aspiring movie makers might want to check that particular workshop out.
Right.
So,
That's what I said. All of these seem really good.
yeah.
And I've got 4 very strong staff members that have been with me for a few years now. One has been with me, there's 16 years, I think. It's
Okay,
16.
so almost
There
got-
was only 1 year, 2 years that she didn't, or 1 year. But anyway, I mean, these people are strong.
They dedicated. Well, and this
They're
is
dedicated.
and this is kind of the proof of what we've been saying. It's been going on for 16 years ish
Or so.
around here in Roswell, and it grows every year. Now, here's the thing: this camp is capped at 75 folks.
Yep.
We can't take any more. It's just too many moving parts to have more than that amount
I'm
of
getting
students.
old, too.
And
It's been a long
it will
time.
detract from the experience for the kids if we make it any bigger than that. So we got to cap it at a hard 75.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if you wait till June to try to get in on this camp, you're probably going to be
I'd be
missing
really
the boat
surprised if
here.
it's not full.
We need to get March and April are the months you need to lock it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These are the months and if the earlier you do it, you can save more money. I mean, I don't care. Like every single person that's applying for camp right now should put in the fund 25. I don't care if
Mm-hmm.
you're a millionaire or you can't rub 2 nickels together. I'd like to do something $25 cheaper.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Excuse me. So go ahead, talk with your kids this week, get them all excited, then register here before the 20th, save the $25 there, and then you're registered and good to go. Now, that being said, you're like, man, $260
Or 65.
is a lot of money. I got plus they got soccer, they got this. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Call Peggy direct. Call her. Trust me, she will help you we'll work it. We'll work
Yep,
it,
we'll work this out.
to get this happening, because the last thing we want is a child to miss an opportunity to do this because of dollars. That's
Right.
not going to be the reason a
Right.
kid doesn't get to go to do this camp. And what I want to tell you is, I don't care what your kid is into, they're going to find excitement and fun in this. And,
right. You don't see self.
and the beauty of what
Yeah.
this camp is it presents the math and the science, and it introduces these kids in a way that they're going to want to learn more about it. I get it. When it comes to math and science, you got to know the formulas. You got to know the actual structure,
Mhm.
and that can get very dull and very dry and very confusing. But if you give it and present it a way that says, see, if you know this, you can make this. And you show them, and that's what this camp's all about. It's like, look, this is why science is important. This is why math's important. This is why engineering is important. Because if you, no matter how creative are, you still need the math to get to creative. If you're very scientific, you need a little creative to get to the science. You know, all science, you need the mesh. You need a little art, and that's what this camp does a beauty of. It shows science in all of its science, but it presents the art of science and why, what you can do with science. And that's why I love this camp, because I don't think there's a tool that expresses something that can be very boring in a very cool way to
Right.
kids. That's
Right.
what this camp is so good at. And that's where the disconnect is. When we talk about math, you start talking about equations and throwing letters in it and this and that, and most people are like, I don't, what?
Yes, exactly.
And now these kids at a young age, as early as kindergarten, could be going in there and learning this stuff, and they're saying, see, this is why they do math, so I can make this amazing thing, or I can, oh my goodness, I didn't realize if I know this math, that's going to create movies. That's going to allow me to paint this picture or whatever it is. And that's what this camp shows. It says STEM is everywhere.
Right. Right.
And you can like it too. We all like STEM. I look at it as history. If people say I hate history, I'm like, no, you don't. You just don't like what,
How you were taught in
You
school.
spent your whole day on Twitter or on TikTok studying history. It's just modern history. You just don't. It's history. We all care. It's just how it's presented to you.
Right.
And that's what this camp does. It presents science, math, engineering, technology, art in a way that kids will embrace it, look at it as a fun game-like thing, and don't realize they're learning and formulating their futures.
Right. And it's a lot of team building, a lot of creativity and collaboration.
Yeah. And then you get the social skills side too.
Social
Like if you got
skills.
homeschools kids, this is a great, because like I said, them and 74 other kids are going to be hanging out together for the week, and it's there's a lot of group activities, and so
Yes.
they gotta problem solve together. They gotta work together. These are skill sets they're also going to be learning as the week progresses.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And there is one component I wanted to mention that's middle school.
Okay. Yes.
Those entering 7th through 9th grade, we do have some spots available, and it's $100 off, so it'd be $190.
Yeah. And this is for those kids that kind of a little bit too, obviously middle school age, but they still want to do the science. But now we say, you know what? We're going to make you like an adult like us, and we're going to help you. Now they're not full-on adults. But
Right, they're not leadership interns. Those
yeah.
are the high school and college
Yeah,
kids
they're
that we
kind of
have.
like a counselor in training kind of thing, where they assist. They will still participate in the programs and get to do the fun things, but when the counselors need help getting things organized or getting stuff, that's where these students will come in and be kind of the assistants, the teacher assistant kind of.
Right, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And so that's something that if there is a middle school student, and we've normally get a few.
Yeah, and I'm going to
that
take a
come
guess.
in.
A couple of those are probably they were
Previous
campers
campers.
themselves. Yeah, and so
And then they become leadership interns in high school.
Yeah, and that's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
it's-
Next thing you know,
yeah.
they're. I'm imagine a few of your full-on staff were probably campers at one point and became, in training, and now they're part of the counseling staff now.
Yeah,
too.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've been doing it so long.
That's what I say and this is something too that I want to point out the quality of this thing. It's been, like you said, it's growing every year, and we're at the point where, like last year, you had 90 some students, and you said,
Well, the year before I had 134.
yeah, and and it's growing, and it's just too much. It got to a point where when it's that many kids, it doesn't give a full experience for some of these kids, and that's why you're saying hard 75 this year, no matter what. That way, it's the optimal experience for these kids. They get to do the full thing. We do not have to short time anything because we got so many kids to get through everything.
Well, actually, we had double the staff, though. So the kids did experience, and it was really good at 134, whatever it was. But I chose to make it smaller for my sanity and for the staff's sanity, because it wasn't fun for me anymore. All I was doing was just, making sure everybody wasn't getting hurt or whatever, because with that many students in that
and then again,
facility,
it cheapens the quality of the product, and that's when people get burnt out, then things deteriorate. That's just what happens.
So then last year was 93, and I didn't do a whole lot of advertising, and then this year I'm cutting it off at 75,
which makes deadlines like March 20th even more important.
Yes, because 75 is good. We're going to be full.
Yeah,
and then we're going to have some disappointed parents, but early bird gets the worm.
Well, we're asking parents if you want plans to attend. It's always that first week of June, so it should be a little easy to plan your calendars.
Always.
But don't wait until May to sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Right now's the time.
Yeah.
April at the latest. But if you want to take full advantage of discounts and everything, March 20th is that deadline. Again, go to invent.org/camp. And then when you put in the camp, ask for a camp near you, click that, type in Roswell 88201, something that kind of tells us where we're at. It'll pump up. You'll see the form. There'll be a thing when you go to pay and all that for entered codes. Put in FUN25, FUN25, and that'll save you the $25 there right as you check out and all that good stuff. And again, don't forget, if you want to take advantage of the partial scholarship, please go to invent.org to learn more, but do not sign up through there.
Right.
Call Peggy direct, and we'll give you her phone number here in a second, or email that you can reach out to her and talk with her, and then we'll make those. Because what she'll do is she'll register you herself through the website, and so like when people make donations and things, this goes to a fund that the camp convention keeps
Ohio.
And everything else.
Yeah, I have no control over that.
But to go and to tap into that, Peggy has to register you through the website to do that. You can't.
Well, it's a little different than that, but they register.
But you can't do it yourself. Yeah, you can't go in there and just.
Right, I have to help out.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So that's why you call Peggy and do it. Because if you try to do it through the website on your own, it won't know what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, I have this special.
It's not this. It's just it's not set up for that.
I have the power. I have the magic power.
So please reach out. But please go to invent.org and /camp and please
check it out.
Check out every one of the modules we just talked about. There's a full-length video that you can learn more and see hands-on exactly what we're talking about. You can and just learn about, even if you want to learn more about the Inventors Hall of Fame and all that and what they're about and all of that, you'll find all of those resources there. But this camp, and another thing too, is if you got family and friends at other parts of the country, maybe they got a camp near them. I get on the horn and say,
That's
hey,
true.
There's a camp in this summer in your town for this thing. They have one here in Roswell. It's amazing. I think you should sign up, your nephew, your niece, whoever it is.
Well, I've had grandparents have their grandchildren come from Texas or Utah or whatever, and they sign their grandkids up because they have them for the summer or a couple of weeks. And they're like, hey, so I've had kids from
my grandma did that to me. I remember right, because my grandma lived in upstate New York.
Okay.
And during the summer, we'd go spend 2 weeks. And usually, at least part of that 1 week, there was some kind of summer camp at the school there that I'd usually participate in. Kids from New York, I had no idea who they were. It was fun, but I made friends, but, I was only there the 2 weeks. So.
Yeah. And we've had, kids from Artesia and Dexter, and, we've had them from all over. So.
The camp is very popular. That's what I'm saying. It's because we are limited to 75, do not delay. Get it done now. Sign up early. That way you don't have to worry about it. You got your reservation. All you got to do is get ready for June 2nd.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's communication that comes from Camp Invention. But if anybody needs to contact me personally for partial scholarships, or if they want to donate and they haven't donated before, or, it's been a few years, you can call me directly at 575-420-9494. 9955. That's 9955.
Yeah.
My email is pbohlin2016@gmail.com. You can always do that too. You can leave a text, voicemail, especially if I don't answer.
Yeah, and please do.
So.
And she will get back to you as soon as humanly possible.
Right.
And if you do not get her direct on the phone, leave a voicemail. She'll call you back. You know, she does teach and things and has classes, and sometimes, you know,
I'm a little
answer
busy.
the phone.
Or I'm traveling or something.
Right, you're always got your finger in some kind of pie going on or something
exactly.
going on there too. And really, again, this is for everything from kids entering kindergarten up to into sixth grade there, and then with the kind of the in training program for the counselors that goes into the middle school age kids here as well. Sign up, and that's a discounted. That's $100
off.
Yeah, it's $100 off for the
leaders in training.
Leaders in training, LITs. That's the term we want.
And then, of course, the high school kids.
Absolutely.
Those are the counselors that go around.
They're the L's.
LIs.
LIs.
And then, we have parent volunteers.
Yeah.
And
I'm speaking of which, could you use any of those out there listening, or are you pretty covered on that?
We could always use a couple more.
Okay. So if anybody that's saying, hey, I can help out, even if just to help move kids from one area to another, or,
that's where a lot of times it's the parents.
Gotcha.
The parents of these students want to do it.
I got to put snack break together. I can help do that,
right.
or whatever it is. We can, please reach out to Peggy. She'd be happy to offer. And again, the camp is June 2nd through June 6th. The camp will run 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. each day during that time, with that other option for an extended camp where they can bring them in as early as 7:30 and keep them at the camp as late as 5:30.
Right.
There is an additional fee on that, but you can sign up through invent.org for that as well. And that way, if you have to be at work at 7:30 in the morning and can't bring the child in at 9, this is an option for you. Or you can't pick up your kid till 4:30 or so. No problem. We can do the extended camp, and all's good in the world here. So.
And I do want to mention that snacks are provided by someone who's very generous in this community.
Thank you.
The students get a T-shirt, and the $290, we get like 30 boxes of materials. If you think of shipping right now, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
And the materials themselves. So it's all of that plus, some of the staff, like I get paid, and the assistant and the instructors get paid. It costs money. So
Not to mention all these projects they're doing, they take home all this stuff.
Right.
It's all stuff.
Exactly.
They come home with them. So
they're going to come home with the penguin.
Yeah, they come home with the project, with the mementos,
right.
The show and tell stuff.
Right. So it's not just we're taking your money and you get nothing for it.
For what you get for a week, it's money well spent.
Right.
But I get it. Things are expensive and life happens. But if you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out to Peggy. And conversely here too, if there's people listening, maybe you don't have kids anymore of that age, you're like, I love this program. Support scholarships. Make donations for scholarships. Right. The more people that donate these monies, the more scholarships we can get, and we would like to make it that if we can make it so none of these kids have to worry about money. It's just all they got to worry about is having fun that week and learning and getting involved, and that's the end game here. So if you think you want to do your little part to make our future bright, donate $100 or two towards a kid to go to camp for a week.
I have somebody who donates $25 every year.
Yeah, love it.
It's like, thank you.
It's very much appreciated.
Yeah,
every little bit, because that helps.
Yeah,
you get 20 people giving $20. That's a kid going to camp. You know what I mean? That's just how it works. It's every many hands in this situation.
Exactly.
Again, invent.org/camp is the website. Call Peggy direct here if you have any questions, but more about the scholarship information as well. 575-420-9955, or email her pbohlin, PBOHLIN 2016 @gmail.com. Good deal. Did we get it all?
Yes, just to remind you that it's for kids entering, because on the flyer it says K to 6th.
Yes.
It's for students entering kindergarten to 6th grade.
So they're going to be a kindergartner here in the fall. Come on down.
Good.
Yep.
It's at All Saints Catholic School. We don't teach them any curriculum from that school.
It is non-religious. It is all STEM.
Exactly. It's all STEM. It's June 2nd to the 6th from 9 to 3:30.
And thank you to All Saints for being home once again to this great program. That without that, none of this happens.
Right.
So
we
thank you
needed
to
a
All
facility.
Saints Catholic School for being awesome awesome hosts for this.
Exactly.
So, good deal. Well, thank you, Peggy. As
All
always,
right, thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Yep.
All right, 8:59. Let's do sports before news here. Don't go away.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The seedings were announced and brackets over the weekend for the upcoming state basketball tournament. So let's look at the boys' side where the Roswell Coyotes and Goddard Rockets are both in it. Roswell is the 4th seed, and they'll host someone they played before 3 times. Carlsbad, it'll be Saturday at 6 o'clock. Carlsbad's the 13th seed. Goddard squeaked into the field in Class 4A as the 16th seed with an 11-15 record. They'll play at number 1 St. Pius this Saturday at 5 o'clock. In Class 3A, NMMI, the 12th seed, will play at Bosque School in Albuquerque Saturday at 5 o'clock. Hagerman is the 10th seed in Class 2A, and they'll play at number 7 Rehoboth. That'll be Saturday at 3. Gateway Christian, the 9th seed in Class 1A at number 8 Cliff this weekend. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5. Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Buxton in Washington. Ukrainian President Zelensky believes his country's relationship with the U.S. will continue despite last week's contentious White House meeting. He says a deal, though, to end the war with Russia still very far away. The diplomatic upheaval prompted European leaders to hold an emergency weekend summit to show support for Ukraine. Britain's Prime Minister said Europe must do more of the heavy lifting to defend itself.
We've agreed that the UK, France and others will work with Ukraine on a plan to stop the fighting. Then we'll discuss that plan with the United States.
Britain now says there are several proposals on the table for a possible Ukraine ceasefire. The White House has been reluctant to criticize Russia for its invasion, and President Trump says he trusts Moscow. But House Speaker Mike Johnson says Russian President Vladimir Putin is dangerous and not to be trusted.
In an interview on CNN, Speaker Johnson was asked, "What is your view on Vladimir Putin?" Johnson responded, quote, "I think Vladimir Putin is an old-school communist, a former KGB agent, and he's not to be trusted, and he is dangerous." Johnson's comments follow a tense Oval Office meeting between President Trump, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and Vice President Vance on Friday, in which the President and Zelensky argued over U.S. support for Ukraine. Johnson said that Trump is, quote, "trying to be a change agent, to broker peace, and to put an end to this conflict, and you have to have both parties at the table to do that." Bernie Bennett reporting.
President Trump says tariffs on Canada and Mexico will start tomorrow.
The tariffs are necessary because we've been treated very unfairly by many, many countries, including our friends, friend and foe.
Honda today reportedly will start producing its Honda Civic Hybrid in Indiana instead of Mexico. Reuters says it will start production there in 2028 to avoid potential tariffs. Townhall.com.
Charlie Kirk here. I've been thinking.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A national grocery and pharmacy chain is stepping down.
Kroger Chairman and CEO Rodney McMullen is stepping down after an internal investigation into his personal conduct. The company said that the investigation into McMullen's personal conduct was unrelated to the business, but was found to be inconsistent with Kroger's business ethics policy. Board member Ronald Sargent will serve as chairman and interim CEO, effective immediately. McMullen, who is 64, began his career with Kroger in 1978. He served as Kroger's CEO since 2014. I'm Haya Panchwani.
The Vatican says Pope Francis had a good night's rest. All indications suggest he has overcome the possible risks from a respiratory crisis last week. He's also recovering from pneumonia. The 88-year-old Pope is stable and off mechanical ventilation, but not out of danger, they say. News and analysis at townhall.com. Today is the first day of Wall Street trading in March following a volatile February that saw the major averages lose ground for the month.
The February losses came despite Friday's powerful rally that saw the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P advance more than 1% each. For the month, though, the Nasdaq was the biggest loser, dropping almost 4%. The S&P shed close to 1.5%, and the Dow fell 1.6% for the month. The benchmarks held on to Friday's gains despite the Oval Office blow-up between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky. The rally briefly stalled, but then resumed to the closing bell. Rich Thomason reporting.
A private lunar lander touched down on the moon, delivering a drill and other experiments for NASA. Firefly Aerospace became the first private outfit to put a spacecraft on the moon without crashing or falling over. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to our number
Tres Infiernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Yes.
It is Monday.
It is.
Feels like a Monday.
Lunes.
Smells like a Monday.
The official start of the Lenten season, I believe, is this coming Wednesday.
Is it?
I believe so. Yes.
All right.
If I have my dates right, I think so.
Okay.
So I think that means tomorrow's Ash Tuesday, or
Wednesday?
Fat Tuesday. Wednesday is Ash Wednesday.
Be on Wednesday.
Yeah. So happy season.
Yeah. When is Easter?
It's you know when it's 420 this year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Late.
And the only reason I remember that is because it's
right.
The high holiday.
A lot of egg consumption on that day.
You know, I feel like there's going to be a lot of plastic eggs at this year's Easter celebration. Because candy consumption will be way up this year because
Candy Crush ain't gonna be no game this year.
Nobody's giving real eggs. That's what it's going to be. They're going to have an Easter egg hunt with plastic eggs, and the prize, if you get the most eggs, is just a dozen real eggs.
Right. You know what? I've been, because it is now the season for the Easter candy showing up on the shelves and all of that. And this happened at Christmas too, and I'm kind of a little salty about this.
Okay.
A little bit. Of course, I did procure an Easter classic candy yesterday while I was out just grabbing stuff.
Cadbury eggs?
No, not that one. The Cadbury egg, yes, but not the cream egg.
Ah, the minis?
Just the chocolate with the hard shell on it. The Cadbury egg, with the hard shell, kind of like a
big M&M,
like a big M&M. Yeah, I love those.
Yeah, and you know what? Cadbury chocolate is also different. It's that European style, creamier.
It's a little
creamier
more,
consistency,
a little more bougier.
And I'll be honest, if I could just have that chocolate and not the cream, I would probably eat more because I'm not a fan of the cream.
Oh, I love that cream.
I do. I used to love it, but now it's just like. It's so gritty and.
I like the OG. I don't like the caramel one, the chocolate. I mean, I'll eat them, but I want the OG one, the one with the one that looks like a fake egg in there with a little white and a little yellow.
I know that it existed before, like my time, but I feel like whipped frosting became more mainstream like since I've become an adult, and that spoiled me on Cadbury cream eggs. Because Cadbury cream is like, it's the closest thing to buttercream frosting you're going to find, and I don't like buttercream frosting.
I'm not a fan of that stuff, but you put it in with that egg, and it's just magic, and that's why I like it.
It's
It's one of those things, like, I don't like certain things, but you put it with another thing, and God bless you, it is just delightful.
You know, I will say, and I think I found my source. Have you? This is kind of chocolate adjacent. Have you heard about the whole the Dubai chocolate?
No.
Has this come across your radar at all?
Nah, not that I don't think I have.
So it's this chocolate that at one point was only sold in Dubai or in that region. It's a Middle Eastern chocolate called kufla, I think is how it's pronounced.
Okay.
And what it is, it's chocolate, but it's filled with this filling of like whipped pistachio, not macadamia, pistachio, and it's got this like green filling.
Sounds good.
And it's wildly popular online.
I try it.
It's like insanely expensive. It's like for like a thing, it's like $17 or $17 to $20.
Give me one, I'll try it.
Right. I think I found a source.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to reveal that source yet because I don't want to blow it out. But I think I found a source, and if I'm correct, within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to procure it and bring it in so we can try it.
I would like that.
Because
that sounds good.
Everything I've read about it online is people are saying it's like it's the greatest chocolate concoction ever.
And I think we should do weird things to it to make people.
Whoa, dude!
Make people like, look what they're doing with that $17 candy bar. Yeah.
Well, that's like the trend online though. Have you ever heard of Erewhon?
No.
So Erewhon, I think there's only like 2 or 3 of them. They're in the LA area, and it's a grocery store that makes Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Like makes them look like Savers.
Oh, really?
It's the world's most expensive grocery store.
Okay.
They have like.
Is it called Bougie City or something? Like
no, it's called Erewhon, which is nowhere backwards.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's that kind of. We're talking about like 3 like.
These are the people paying $300,000 for a banana taped to a wall. That's
kind of.
Yeah.
$300 million. No, I'm sorry, 60 million.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
These idiots are doing it.
But we're talking about like 3 asparagus stalks floating in like ionized water for like $13. That kind of thing.
I want to go in that place and look for Hot Pockets.
They probably have them, and they're probably about $37 for 2, because they're made from like Wagyu beef or whatever.
And they're served on a gold bird bath.
Somebody posted a video. It was an influencer on TikTok, and she posted a video holding this. It's a $19 single strawberry.
Yeah, that I saw.
You did see that?
The Japanese strawberry.
Yes.
That I saw.
That was from Erewhon. That's where she got it from.
Okay.
And which infuriates me because she just takes it out of the package and starts eating it. I'm like, no, that's an investment. You need to freeze it or dry it or freeze dry it or something. But they said it was like the world's most perfect strawberry.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Only person's investment for is the idiot you gave $18 to.
It's 19 plus tax.
Yeah. Whatever
Yeah,
it is.
so
that's the only investment it is.
It's just, this is like a new trend though.
Well, I saw the strawberry thing because I talked about it last week, and I think the thing I saw said $18.
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
it was, but this was like a current affair, one of those type stories where the announcer's like eating the strawberry.
It's weird how the trend gap
Inside edition.
on like YouTube Shorts and TikTok has become eggs are too damn high, and here's this $19 strawberry.
Right.
Where's the line, man?
Ramen's still 40 cents.
Ramen's still cheap, absolutely.
But anyway, back to my beef.
Yeah, sorry. Ooh, speaking of. But yes, Easter candy. Easter candy.
I'm a little upset with the Ferrero Rocher people.
Okay. I might have some inside info on this. But
And this
go ahead.
is why.
Okay.
Because they're the biggest teasers on the planet. At Christmas time, the little Ferrero Rochers with the little hazelnut and everything,
yeah,
those are delightful.
They're fantastic.
Just a delightful little. And so at Christmas time, they put like a big version out. Big one.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be, hey, that thing's hollow as my head.
And it's just filled with Rochers, right?
Yeah, it's not, it doesn't have the thing. It's, well, I saw an Easter Bunny version of it this holiday season.
Won't be fooled again.
And I'm like, don't be doing this, man. Don't be putting Ferrero Rocher on something that's just hollow chocolate.
Right.
That's not right. That's like saying, here, I'm Reese's, but there's no peanut butter in it. Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's just cruel.
It's not right.
Now, I'm gonna tell you a little inside baseball on Ferrero Rocher.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, that company was bought by a company called Storch, I believe.
Okay.
Storch, something like that. You'll see the logo in the corner. They actually manufacture a whole line of different products that you've probably never heard of. Have you ever heard of Knoppers? Knoppers. Knoppers.
Yes, I have heard of those.
They come in like a 6-pack.
I've seen them in the chocolate aisle, like in the thing. I've never ate one, but I've seen them.
Now the picture, if you will, if a Ferrero Rocher as a flat like cracker.
Okay.
You have a layer of chocolate on top of a wafer, on top of a layer of milk cream, and then that chocolate with the hazelnut pieces inside.
That sounds delightful.
It is fantastic, and they sell them. Oh, hey there. They sell them over at the dollar store for like $3. But that is, if you're looking for the like full blown Ferrero Rocher.
They're so bougie. They sell them for $3 at the dollar store.
That's right. See, that's why you trust a fat man because he knows where to shop. He knows where to get the bargains. But no, this is if you want that Ferrero Rocher larger experience.
Okay.
Get yourself a Knopper.
I might Knopper it up.
Yeah. It's
because all I know is when I see the big Rocher, I want it to be a big Rocher. I don't want it to be full with little Rocher.
It feels like a sellout. What you could do is get yourself a bunch of Knoppers and build your own like Ferrero Rocher.
No, I want that thing and eat it like an apple. Just hazelnut nonsense all over my face. I want all of that.
I just want to eat it like a hand fruit.
And I can't do that. And by golly, this is America. We put a man on the moon. Why can't I do that?
I love that. And this is always how it is, too, is we put a man on the moon is where we draw our line in technological advancement.
Everything else is just too much.
We put the technology that put the man on the moon in your pocket and then some.
Yeah, that's not impressive. There's a man on the moon.
Sean needs to write a book, How to Get Diabetes for Under $1.
I do know all the easiest ways. It's true. It's true.
I'm going to be his Sherpa into the diabetes train there. Right
the key is when you lose your foot, that's like 3 good pounds.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm on a diet. And I'm a little shorter.
They call me not even.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
But it only because I had this same argument at Christmas. I actually got in an argument a discussion with a clerk at a Walgreens in Virginia over these Ferrero Rocher things because I was salty about it.
Because you were angry?
Well, I almost had the same discussion with the clerk at the Walgreens here when I saw the Ferrero Rocher bunnies.
It's when you go, I didn't make them, sir.
I'm that guy.
I am that guy.
I just want to get off at 4 o'clock.
I'm going to give you a suggestion, and you've probably already been, but don't go to the Hershey store in Vegas. There's a lot of disappointment there. They have very large candies that aren't like what they look like. It's just like a container with little versions.
Now, the M&M store is a delight.
Oh, sure. Jelly Belly store, same thing, because you have walls of delights that you can then put in a bag.
It's been about 15 years since I've been in the M&M store, but I just remember 2 stories of M&M tubes of just different colors.
Yep.
Like there's literally 2 stories of yellow M&Ms in that tube right there. Another 2 stories. I've never even seen a pink M&M, but they got a tube, 2 stories full of them right here.
Are those glitter?
Wait a minute. I can get my face on this one.
That's sort of like going to Pops in Oklahoma, the soda place, because all along the walls, and what they've done is they've taken the bottles and just refilled them with colored liquid. So when the sun hits the building, like the sunset or whatever, it just like rainbows in all these colors from these different bottles of liquid. It's really cool. It just lights up the whole place.
Now it's a party.
Yeah. So we call that redneck disco.
Like it. I like it. Well, if the Ferrero Rocher people are listening, make me the big one, please. That's all I want. And make it a big normal one.
I feel like it does exist, and I'm gonna track it down for you.
See,
in the meantime,
I've been fooled before, and then I break into that bad boy, and it's a bunch of little ones. I just got a pregnant big one.
Just had to litter a little Rochers.
Yeah, like a cat. I got a Rocher cat that shot out a bunch of little ones. All right, John Noble's patiently waiting to talk Roswell Seed with us here on the other side.
I'm hourly. I don't care.
That's fair.
So we're going to chat with John here in a bit, get an update on what's happening at Roswell Seed. Before we do that, though, here is your windy weather. Put a lot of rocks in your pocket because the winds are whipping bad today.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Strong low pressure moving through the central Rockies. We won't be seeing any rain with that, but we will have very gusty wind today, up to 50 miles an hour at times. Sunshine with a few clouds, and we're in the mid-70s on the afternoon high. It'll stay windy overnight, clear, and we're in the upper 30s, and then gusty again on Tuesday. Sunny, and we're in the upper 60s, wind gusting to 50. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 65 degrees here in Roswell, already breezy. Humidity is at 19%. Winds are blowing out of the south at 22, gusting to 31 at the moment. We do have a red flag warning that technically doesn't go in effect till 10 o'clock this morning. Also a high wind warning that goes in effect at 10 a.m. Both will expire at 7 p.m. this evening. And then tomorrow they'll start all over and do it again. They're only watches right now. High weather watch, or high wind watch and fire weather watch tomorrow. The high wind watch will kick in at 5 in the morning tomorrow, and then the weather watch kicks in at 8. I'm going to take a stab. These will get upgraded to red flag warnings and all as the day progresses. But anyway, it's all to tell you it's going to be windy the next couple of days. Today, we're looking at patchy blowing dust this afternoon, sunny and 75. That's the one piece of good news. The winds will be out of the southwest, 15 to 25, increasing 30 to 40, gusting as high as 55 miles per hour. Later today. Tonight, mostly clear. Expect an overnight low of 38. Winds will be blowing still out of the west, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Tuesday, patchy blowing dust. Then more patchy blowing dust, followed by some patchy blowing dust. Sunny and a high of 68 tomorrow. Winds will be blowing out of the northwest, 30 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, patchy blowing dust. Clear, overnight low of 33. Winds will be out of the northwest, 15 to 20. But the respite begins at midnight, 5 to 10 after that. And then Wednesday, cooler. We're going to be in the mid-60s, but 5 to 10 mile an hour winds, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. So that's manageable. Thursday, we're looking at more dust and wind with a high of 74. Friday, breezy and 66. And then, just to lose your ever-loving mind, Friday night, a chance of rain and or snow showers after 11, partly cloudy, 33 for an overnight low, 30% chance of precip there, 20% chance of rain and showers Saturday morning with a high of 57. So, welcome to New Mexico. It's the first week of March, and it's doing exactly what the first week of March does in New Mexico. It is 9:22. Let's take a minute and a half break, and then John will tell you when to plant and when not to plant, when to hold, and what the world looks like from the dirt terms this morning. That's right. What to do with your dirt now. 9:22. We'll be back.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assisting, nursing, and respiratory therapy. ENMU Roswell can prepare you for a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. ENMUR stacks courses in order to get the student into a job as quickly as possible while creating a pathway for more advanced certifications, licenses, and degrees. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. I'm the 3rd generation in this legacy that began with hard work and bold dreams. From Grandpa's footprints in the concrete to floor tiles laid in the 50s by my dad, Bill. Every detail of this building is a testament to our pride in providing quality furniture and service to you. On your quest for making your home beautiful and comfortable, come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:24, and joining us now officially in studio from Roswell Seed Company, John Noble back with us. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's life at the seed?
It's good. I don't have a handler today.
You're free and untethered today. Yes.
So there could be anything that comes out of my mouth.
Chaos ensues.
Oh, baby, yeah. And a Monday.
Next month when she's back with him, you know what happens.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. You were talking about all the wind and stuff like this. So this is the time of year where your neighbor gets to be an a-hole, because on windy days, I don't do this to my neighbors, but I've seen it done. All the tumbleweeds that land up, they just flip them over the fence so it goes down.
This was years ago in an old neighborhood. But my neighbors, when I lived on the south end of town, which is Tumbleweed City, right where we lived at. We were right it was in the city, but we could see the open air from our street. So,
right.
So the tumbleweeds blew through our area.
Right.
It was right there behind the Hondo Lions Field and all that.
Oh,
area.
yeah. Okay,
it's
yeah.
Tumbleweed City over there.
Yeah.
And so my neighbors one year put up a chain link fence in the front yard. And that first spring, I had Mount Tumbleweed more at the fence.
Yeah.
And it blew into my driveway. And you know what I did? You want to put this fence up? Fine. You can wrangle and corral them thing. I started pushing them over that fence so I could drive into my driveway because there was literally a mountain of these things. Of course, they got mad. I was like, when you put the fence up, they would have blown down the neighbor's street if you left this fence up.
Yeah.
I don't know why you got the fence up in the first place, to keep your weeds and your broken grill and whatever crap else you got sitting out here. Anyway, another story for another day.
We had a customer that was talking something like that. He got mad, so he set it on fire and burned the whole fence down. I was laughing. He was all like, best $800 I spent. I was starting to laugh. I was like, really? He was all like, yeah. He goes, man, you ever set those on fire? I was all like, not purposely. And he was all like,
they do go quick.
They go quick.
They do.
Good
like, tinder.
Yeah, he was all like, it just like shot straight down the line. And I was like, oh my God.
It's just a rolling tinderbox. It really is.
Yeah, basically, it's like, ay.
Yep.
So, yeah, lovely Roswell weather. You know.
So that to be coming and all of that. So, one thing we probably should talk about is the chick situation.
Right.
Because of bird flu and all of that stuff, your suppliers do not have chicks.
Nope.
So that means Roswell Seed does not have chicks this year.
And
here's the problem. Is the closest supplier that you guys can get is really too far away to safely bring the chicks here without risk of harming the chick.
Yeah. We're thinking. We've had a couple of people be like, no, they'll be fine. I've ordered from Pennsylvania. I've ordered from this. And it's like,
right.
We're not going to take that chance.
Right.
That's
it's
kind
not
of,
the juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Yeah. They're coming from like 10 hours away.
Right.
And I mean, let's face it. The United States Postal Service is really. It's not a hard test to get.
And the last thing you want to do is sell a bunch of sickly chicks or whatever else.
Or bank.
Yeah.
I mean,
or come back with a box full of dead chicks.
Out of 50, you get 30. Well, hell, we got to order 60 just to have 50.
I know, and sentiment side alone that sucks, but from the bottom line, that really sucks.
Yeah.
So
basically, it's like, so I don't know. We've been kind of sending people to like Big R Tractor Supply.
I heard they are going to be doing them. I think livestock. I think they're going to be doing.
Is Roswell Livestock?
I think I heard
haven't been in. We were in Tractor Supply. They didn't have anything.
Okay. I did hear Roswell Livestock's going to be doing chicks.
Okay. Yeah.
If they're not already.
Yeah. So that was just kind of something we were just kind of like, we're just going to kind of step back from this year.
And this is kind of that. And this is the Roswell Seed. This is if you can't put out the best product available, you're not going to put it out.
Basically, yeah.
And you are worried that you're going to put out an inferior product by putting chicks out from a farther location. Therefore, we're going to err on the side of we don't want to expose our customers to potential shoddy or a product that's not up to our standard.
Right. When we order chicks, we order in pullets, which are females.
Mm-hmm.
Our success rate is pretty decent with privet. It's a really hard job to sex chicken. I don't know.
Sounds like something I don't want nothing to do with.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, look on Mike Rose.
I think I saw that. I saw one of his dirty jobs when he was doing it, and I was like, I'm out.
So with this new company, I mean, we don't know really anything about them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of like, no,
right.
I mean, we catch enough hell from people that bought chicks somewhere else. And then they come, I got 5 roosters, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. If it's us, let us know. We will correct it quickly, but.
Right. And so that's the deal. And I know it sucks, but, and like you said, there are places in town and they'll get you to it if you need to, but Roswell Seed made the decision to say, you know what, we're going to, because we don't want to compromise integrity, we're going to go ahead and not offer.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they went in Privet. I guess Privet bought out. They were bought out by blah, 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 blah. I don't know, some company.
Hopefully this bird flu thing is all in the past next year and back to normal and all that.
And the when I was talking to a couple of people about it, they were saying that they didn't even test. They just sent them a deal saying to euthanize. Don't even test them. Just euthanize everything. And,
talk about throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Basically, yeah. But, I mean, if they challenge that, the fine is probably pretty
That's just
hefty,
it. Yeah, that's just it. It's one of these things, especially when you get government involved.
Yeah,
they come with a hammer,
right?
Whatever it is. I know this from the FCC side. I'm sure, and farm and ag is equally as a forceful hammer that comes down.
It is, and especially where. Under blue rule around this area, and the North hates the South, and the South really doesn't care about the North.
Right.
So when things start coming down our way, it gets heavier and harder. We're kind of seeing it on certain like chemicals and stuff like that. It's kind of like, this was perfectly fine last year, and now this year all of a sudden it's not, and it's like, well, they didn't. Every chemical has to have a license.
Sure.
Well, the license has to be run through the state that they're selling it through. So if the state don't like it, the state doesn't accept the license, and then there you go. Or the state raises the money on the license, fee.
Makes it so expensive that they don't want to do that.
Yeah, basically.
Deterrent by making it too expensive.
Right, basically. And you're just kind of like, geez, let's just all play on a level playing field.
Sure.
Here we go. But there's a fight in everything, naturally. Big box, they have it, but they're not getting told to take it off the shelf. And we are. And it's kind of like, okay, but they can afford, to write those big checks on, oops, we forgot,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They got a little, when you have a corporation and you're a publicly traded company and there's bazillions of dollars involved.
Yeah.
$100 fine ain't gonna.
Yeah, it doesn't bother them.
Move the needle that much. Yeah.
Yeah, especially you got 40, 50 products.
Yeah.
And it's $500 to $1,000 fine.
Yeah.
They could write a check like that. Roswell Seed would be like, we can give you a chicken.
That's right.
Here you go.
That's exactly. It's like, can I pay in seed?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. So and that's it's a yearly thing. I mean, right at the beginning of the year is when all this stuff starts coming out.
Sure.
I got to go through and I got to look at all, what do we have on our shelves? Did it pass? Did it not pass? Is it, is it in waiting? Is it,
I'm going to take a stab. These are the times when you realize the loss that is Jim Gill.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're kind of thinking, man, this is what Jim dealt with every year and all this stuff. Yeah.
But then, Dad had that. They've been doing it for so long.
Sure.
Dad.
Well, he was an expert at it. Yeah. This is why Roswell Seed is what it is, because that family's experts and they've done really great stuff over the years.
Yeah.
And but when it's the passing of the baton, you don't know what you don't know till you know sometimes.
Right. And I mean, Dad was a man of kind of few words, but he could look at that paper and go, "No, this is crap. Don't worry about it. This is gonna pass. Don't
stuff you got to worry about versus stuff that's just smoke blowing." Yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking at this, going, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
And this and
but it comes with experience. After as many years as Jim has done it, you'll get that vision too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, luckily for us, our state inspector around here, really nice guy. He was a farm kid and all that. Really nice. And he kind of comes in. He comes in and he does his checks, but he's just kind of like, okay, do you have this? And I'm like, not right now.
And that's
kind
of what like living in New Mexico is like.
Yeah.
Like we know the standard, but depending on who's doing the thing, it's like I know the standard and I know how real life works.
Yeah.
And sometimes people that know that, they will say, well, look, here's the standard. But look, real life works this way. I'm willing to let you do real life. Just don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's New Mexico in a nutshell.
And New Mexico, I mean, when you look on that New Mexico agriculture.
Until you make somebody mad, then they're going to drop the hammer on you. But as long as you play the game, they'll be like, yeah, well.
And the funniest thing is like, there's some products that we carry that's in a quart, 32 ounces. It's legal for residents to buy. Same product, put it in a gallon jug. Now you have to have a license. It's like, why?
Yeah, that's the ridiculousness.
And it's like, now it's considered farm because they put it in a 1 gallon jug, and it's like, it's the same stuff.
Right. Why can't you just call it family pack like you would laundry detergent,
right?
or any other thing?
Well, we'll just start naming
the
it
bigger
like
bag of pretzels. They call it the family pack.
Yeah,
why can't you do that?
Yeah, why can't we name it? After some of that stuff from like Starbucks. This is a grande.
Vente.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I don't understand. I mean,
it's all semantics.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, somewhere somebody is sitting behind a desk thinking of something to do, and so for the month that they could show that they've done something, they'll say, well, I done this.
That's right.
And then it just trickles down, and then when it comes to us, we're just looking at it going, who's this idiot?
Yep.
Literally.
There's consequences for the things you do to fill your day.
Oh, yeah. It's loads of fun.
But that being said, can't help you so much with chicks right now. But pretty much everything else, Roswell seed, if it's time to plant grass, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Time is now.
Time is now, and Roswell seed can do everything they do. Bees, how are we doing on the bee stuff?
Bees are looking pretty decent. Cutoff on them is going to be March 15th.
Okay. So we're getting close to that one here.
To that.
You're going to be in the bee game. You might want to be quick on it. You're about to be out of it.
Be out of it, yeah. Grasses, fescues, and right. I was just thinking, no, not Bermuda. Bermuda's late. Fescues and rye.
Rye. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. I haven't had no coffee this morning yet. This is the time to plant them, if you're...
Yeah, your Bermuda's probably April, May time frame?
Yeah, once ground temperatures start cresting over about 68, it seems to work the best here.
And that's now, and this is and this is what we're talking about. This is where you need to talk to Roswell Seed, where what kind of grass to plant. There's various factors. One, what effect do you want? B, where do you live? And all those kind of things. Now, Bermuda grass is if you're looking for a grass that gives you a little forgiving, like you're not meticulous with your water and with your weeding and all that, Bermuda's your friend.
Yeah.
The change off is it's going to be brown till about summer, and then it turns green and it goes brown the rest of the year. That's Bermuda grass.
Basically, yeah.
But it's pretty hardy. It's good fighting weeds. It really is a good grass for people that just want grass and don't want all the work.
Me personally, I classify Bermuda as weed.
Yeah.
Because it runs, and it's extreme. Yeah. Once you get Bermuda in your yard, it's really hard to get out. It's doable.
Sure.
But digging down or, pulling it out, that's not going to work.
This is how I learned about Bermuda grass, and this is what's weird. When I was a kid, I used to go, I have grandparents live in upstate New York, and we'd go spend a couple weeks in upstate New York every year. And we go for Christmas or Thanksgiving and stuff. And this is upstate New York. This is where it gets snow.
Right.
It ain't here.
Right.
And there was one neighbor 2 doors down from my grandparents that had Bermuda grass.
Really?
They meticulously took care of it, though. Like, they kept it cut, trim, perfect length. So in the winter, it was this beautiful shade of yellow, but it was all trimmed and even. And in the summer, it was this beautiful green. But I never thought of Bermuda being a climate for that and everything else.
Yeah.
But these people, now I'm sure they worked their tails off.
Right.
Because they were one of those people that cut their grass at the angle to get the row effects and all. They went all out. They weren't messing around.
Right.
But it was Bermuda grass. And I kept asking, why is there yellow? Why everyone else? Bermuda grass. I was like,
Yeah. I know. The first time when I moved to Roswell, my neighbor on either side of me, they set their yards on fire. I was like, what the heck is going on?
Pyros
I'm like, whoa. And it's, I was in a rent house, so
Yeah.
I didn't have grass. It
Right.
was just dirt.
Right.
But I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, what the? And yeah, that's a good way to, rake all the stuff out of it. Just set it on fire.
And now I think about it, I think they did burn their yard once a year or
once
something.
a year. Yeah. I just freaked out.
Yeah.
The one old man on one side, he's sitting there drinking a beer. Hey, how's it going, neighbor? I'm like, I'm really afraid. What are you doing? You're setting this thing on fire.
Right.
And that now, that I work with the Roswell seed, it's the easiest way to take care of it.
Yeah. And so when it's time to put grass in or whatever, or if you're trying to patch grass, talk to Roswell seed first, because you may be patching it with something you don't want to patch it with. Is
Right.
all I'm saying is, and sometimes just going and buying that Scott's thing that they put on, just throw this mossy crap on it and let this redheaded guy stand on it, and you got this beautiful. It don't work that way.
No, I had to laugh. One of our customers came in the other day, and men won one, and he came in and he was all like, "We won, men won," and I was all like, "What?" I was laughing. I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "My wife went 3 separate times, one to Home Depot, one to Walmart, and then one, I can't remember where he said the third place was, bought 3 separate different bags of grass seed, put it all out, and it was real spotty, patchy, blah, 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 blah." And they came in one time, and I told her, well, this is what, when you flip this bag over, look,
right.
It says noxious. If there's a percentage sign, that's % of weed seed per pound of that bag. No. He's like, nope, she didn't listen. But he was all like, he goes, been fighting weeds all last summer. He was like, that's it. He goes, this year, he goes, I won. And I was like, you realize out of the 3 bags that she bought, you could have just bought the seed from us, And he's just all like, yep. He goes, nope. He goes, men won. He goes, we told her so. And I'm
this
like,
is that MasterCard commercial. 3 bags of seed, 1,000, 1 bag of seed.
Yeah.
Proving your wife wrong, priceless.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah. He was all happy, too. I was laughing.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. I was all like, perfect.
But and you know what? But that's the point when we talk about Roswell seed and why you come to Roswell seed as opposed to just buying the bag of seed off the grocery store shelf or whatever.
Yeah.
This is the difference, because this seed is made in-house. They weed out the weed percentages and all the things that are acceptable to the FDA or whoever regulates that stuff. You guys go above and beyond that. And not to mention that all your seeds and everything are all seeds that know for a fact will work in dirt in this part of the country.
Yep.
Scott, Turf Builders, whatever name brand you got out there, they don't care.
No.
It'll work everywhere. But guess what? Y'all live in a desert.
Yeah.
You don't live where most people live. Things that grow here don't grow in other places. Things that do grow here don't grow in other places. You got to be different with your yard. And that's why Roswell seed is the reason why you need to go in there. And when it comes to seed or any of this stuff, because at the end of the day, they're the only people that know what you need to go in your backyard, not what goes in everybody's backyard that may or may not work. And we throw the crapshoot and, 80% worked. That's good.
Yeah.
No. We're like, no, we're going to go through and everything here is going to work because we tested it for 100 years here in this dirt. And that's what it is.
Just got done with it.
So that's the difference. So you can go and maybe save $5-10 on a bag of seed there, but it's a crapshoot. It's like a scratch-off lottery ticket. It's the same. You may get grass. You may get more weeds than grass. Here, it's been wet. It's been fed. It's through. It's been pasture filtered and all the other stuff run through the thing, and you know what I mean. It's been it's done all its science to it to make sure that when you put it in your yard, it's got the best chance for doing what it's supposed to do. As long as you water it and fertilize it and keep your thing and follow the instructions, I'm pretty sure you're going to have a nice looking yard at the end of it.
Yeah, we deal with customers. We deal with vendors that we've been dealing with for upwards of 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we trust these people when they're saying, hey, this or this. It's like, okay, they don't use AI. I mean, Dad had traveled all the way.
Their AI is elbows in the dirt.
Right.
AI is intelligence. Actual intelligence.
Dad has traveled to Oregon to look at these seed cleaning plants where we were getting this grass seed. He's traveled to, I think it was Montana. I don't know, one of those. He just said it was cold as hell. But another place where he went and looked at their setup and machinery. People don't realize, we clean seed. We don't clean, grasses. We clean farm seed. So we understand the stuff that's getting kicked off as trash off of the machinery, that's what's being bagged and resold. It gets re-cleaned again.
It's like getting hot dogs versus steak.
Yeah.
You go there, you're getting the hot dog seed. You come here, we leave the lips in those parts on the floor.
Yeah.
And you get the good cuts.
That's it. That's it. I mean, honestly.
That's basically what the difference is.
Yeah.
It really is.
And so we always check. Our grass seed, it's never really below an 88 germ. I mean, it's always a really high germ. And that's why it's a little bit more expensive, but the quality is just there.
And if you want to talk price, how many times you're going to spend another X amount of dollars reseeding every year because it didn't take, whereas you did it once this year, fertilized it, kept, winterized it, did your thing. I guarantee it comes back next spring. You ain't got to do anything but what you're normally doing to it. I don't need another bag to fill because guess what? There's no holes.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Yeah. And so are you saving money? Are you really?
Yeah.
I don't think you are.
I laugh because I tell them, I said, you can either buy the grass seed from me, or you can buy the stuff, the chemical that's going to kill the weeds that's going to be in the grass that you buy from somewhere else. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Sure.
I'm just trying to help you out.
Absolutely.
I don't have to make this sell, type of deal. And people sit there and look at you really, really weird.
Yeah.
When I'll sit there and I'll tell them, it's not time for this. Don't spend your money right now on this.
You're really trying to keep them from throwing away money.
Right.
It's
Because
like, sometimes this stuff can be like vitamins. When you go to the store and you're like, oh, I got all these vitamins, like you're just making really expensive pee.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're doing sometimes with some of this stuff. It's like you can do all that, but it's a waste of time and energy, and you're not going to get the results you're hoping for. Or you can do this. It's not as sexy or as fun, or doesn't have a quick catchy thing to it, but it's been working for 100 years.
Yep.
Maybe you ought to listen to it.
Yeah. I try to, I tell people, hey, I got a wife too.
Yeah.
I get yelled at on a daily. I would do this. This might cut down on that butt chewing here, on at least for this part. Now,
Sure.
what you do for the rest of the day, that's
Right.
up to you.
Right.
Crystal, that's what she sometimes tells me. She's all like, "Do you just wake up and just think of this stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much."
Well, it's kind of that mindset. I'm sure you've heard it in the military. An ounce of prevention makes up for a pound of pain later. You know, and that's kind of what it is.
I laugh because all my guys, they'll do something at the shop or whatever, and I tell them, I said, there's the P's to success. Piss poor planning produces poor productivity.
Absolutely.
And they just sitting there and they're just looking at me. I was all like, write it down, remember
It's the secret to life.
Yeah, the secret to life. Yeah,
and it doesn't make sense till you get older. You're like, Dad, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
If I'd have done this from the get-go, life would have been so much easier. Sometimes you're 50 before that hits you.
Yeah. Now for if you're not going to be putting that much effort into your yard, then
sure,
buy that big. That's fine.
But if you're wanting good results and you want to be keeping up with the Joneses or having the envy of the block neighbor, it's going to take a little work, and it's just like anything else. Quality products and quality care is going to give you quality results, and that's true in anything. If you build anything, if it's food, if it's a dress, whatever it is, if you use crappy ingredients and crappy materials, it's probably going to be a crappy project at the end of the day. And it's no different with your seed and everything else. You want to get the cheap stuff? Great. You're probably going to get cheap results. Yeah. You want a lawn that people are envious of and that you're jealous, that your own just like, I can't believe I have this. Then you're going to need to put good seed and good product into the ground, and you're going to have to work it to do that. It's diet and exercise. There's no magic pill. You got to work out. You got to eat right. And then you do that. It's the same thing with growing stuff. You got to make the ingredients right or it won't work.
Yeah. And I mean, there's cheats, I'll tell you, the cheats on it,
But like business, there's, every good get rich quick scheme out there. The 1% that get it, the 99% don't.
Yeah.
Same here.
And I'll tell people flat out, I'm like, no, well then just go down there. Just, this is what you're looking for. This is, and they just sit there with their mouth open looking at me. It's like, I could sell you my expensive seed, but if you're not going to put in the work, then it's just useless. Sorry.
You want a Cadillac, but you got
Pinto,
Dodge Neon taste.
Yeah. So, and they just kind of sit there and they just can't believe it. And it's like, this is why we've been here for, 127 years.
And to be honest, that goes to a bigger human issue. This is why we all need the iPhone 37 and all the other thing, even though the iPhone 27 works just as good.
Yeah. There's still stuff on my phone. I don't even know what the hell it does.
Right.
Me too. I just look at it. It's ding, do you have the, and I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yeah. Until my phone physically doesn't let me do things, that's when I change it.
Yeah.
Like either when I just completely destroy it into oblivion, or when I get so tired of trying to get an email or something that's not working, I'll throw it. And that's when I get a new phone. Until that happens, I usually just ride this bad boy out.
Yeah. Like my phone, I can run some of the Office products.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot. Yeah, we have one. It's not anything, but I can, and I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, I can run that. I still, if you come into our office and you can look at all the desks and you will know exactly which desk is mine.
Who belongs
I got
to
the papers. I got crap everywhere, so it's like,
Yeah.
Welcome.
But how many times do you actually sit at your desk in a given day?
Right now, not very much.
I'm about to say, but most people that have desks like that are rarely at the desk.
Yeah.
Like they're there to drop their coat off, maybe with their coffee mug, and then they're about their day. They'll come back and take a sip of coffee, pick up their coat, and go.
Yeah. I come in. I got to check emails real quick, see where my orders are at.
Like I had an office in our old Artesia station. I think I spent 30 seconds in that whole time. I was in the studio the whole time.
The whole time.
It's like, once I'm here, what am I going to do? I got nothing to do. I just might as well go home.
Well, my thing is if I, I don't really have but if I sit down, I'll find something to do.
Yeah.
That's what gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I'm on Gunbroker or I'm looking at this or
You're spending money.
Yeah, I'm spending money. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, so I let the kids get in, get their coffee, get organized or whatever, talk to themselves about what they're going to do. And then they go out and then the game begins. Because once I go out, then what are you doing? How come you doing that? No, don't be doing that. Go over here. I just told you we got to do this. Yeah, that's how my day does it.
You got to, tamp down the butt grabbing. And
basically.
Not the term I was going to use,
yeah.
but I know
it's kind of funny because, in the shop, I'll come in and Ben will say something. I'll be like, "Hey, this is your problem, not mine. I'm out." And he's all like, "Wait, whoa, no, whoa, nothing. This is you, Or he'll come in and be like, "Here, this is your problem," and I'm like, "Oh, come on,
I will say this because I've been hearing, the Roswell Seed ads on I'm on the radio station. I tend to hear it a time or two.
Yeah.
And every time the Roswell Seed ads come on, sometimes I'm listening, and Ben sounds a little...
Yeah, like Jim?
Jim,
yeah.
like I'll be hearing him talking, and I'm like, is that Jim? And I'm like, no, that's Ben.
Yeah.
But for a hot minute, I'm like, is Jim what? It's Ben. Gee, I got to stop that.
Yeah.
But he kind of sounds like him on the radio.
Yeah, he does. There's been a couple of people that said that, and I was all like, nah. And then
I'm hearing it.
Yeah, one of the commercials came on, and I was all like, dang, they're right.
Yeah.
It does sound like
I'd be sitting here, and I'll hear it in the background. I'm like, man, that sounds like Jim.
Yeah. We still have the same mentality in the store,
But Ben, you got a little Jim in that voice there, at least in the ads. I mean, I don't know about your day-to-day.
He's got yelling at the computer down to a T. Yeah, he sounds just like Dad didn't cuss as much as Ben does, but as far as yelling at the computer, he's got it down.
I'm gonna say. He's a younger generation. He has a bigger repertoire of cuss words. Younger generations, they got a little more creative in their
Yeah. Well, he's Army guy. They cuss at everything.
Military people, so they invent cuss words in the military.
Basically. It's
Usually it's an acronym.
Yeah. Oh, my God. We were laughing at that because I forgot Crystal asked me. She was all like, what does Bohica stand for? I was all like...
right?
Yeah.
Well, like y'all know the common ones like FUBAR. That one's like hit everybody, but there's way deeper ones than that. That's just the ones the public knows.
Yeah, the public. Yeah, yeah. Well, you
saw it in a movie once, so now you know.
You become E4 Mafia. You know all of them.
Right?
Yeah, that's talk. I mean, that's like you're having conversations with those things.
The E4, yes, because that's what I was when I got out.
Yeah.
The E4 makes the military go. I don't care what branch it is. I don't care. Those are the people that make the military go. They're not the bosses. They know everything, and they train the Jeeps. The young people. Sorry, I use more acronym, but that one you all should know. That's pretty common.
Yeah.
And so They are really because they don't get the senior leadership. They don't get to hang out and drink coffee with those guys.
Right.
They get the orders from those, and then they got to disseminate that on down to the real peons. And so you're in that middle of you got no glory. You got to do all the work and all the responsibility. Because when stuff goes downhill, the people from up top blame you, and then you blame the people down below you, and then it comes back up to you because it's always on you.
Yeah.
And E4s are the grunts of all, and I don't care if they're Coast Guard or Army or Navy or Marines or Air Force, it's the same.
Yep. I knew who I could bribe. I knew where I could get stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you got to show your dominance as an E4. And nothing shows dominance. I cleared out an entire staff meeting one time.
Yeah.
Well, I got in trouble for something. So I got sent to this stupid staff meeting on a Saturday morning because they don't have anything better to do. And I had to push the button on the slide machine. And I was all like, oh, hell no. There's no way. And so luckily our corpsman, he was all like, what are you doing? And I was all like, I got in trouble. I got to be at this stupid staff meeting and stuff. And he handed me a bottle of Visine. And I'm all like, this gets the red out. What do you want me to do? He was like, a couple of squirts in the coffee. I was all like, what? He was all like, meeting will be over with. I was all like, oh, yeah, baby. So I just happened to be making the coffee. Yeah. Couple of drops. No, just a couple. Let's just. And then, it went from a drop to just like squirting it in.
You got another bottle?
Yeah. And, kind of stirred it up, looked at it, and was like, it was worth a shot.
How many got into that before the meeting was adjourned?
The meeting didn't even start.
Wow, they didn't get to the meeting.
Yeah, they were milling around. Yeah, and you could hear it. That was the scary part, man. It was just all like, and I'm like, oh shit. Now, I'm looking at some of these people and I'm like, damn, they're going to die.
I'm assuming you didn't drink the coffee.
No, hell no. I didn't drink any of that stuff. No. Because, of course, they wanted it, dark, strong, as hard as the table. Yeah. So, and I was just like, well.
It can usually float a horseshoe kind of deal.
Yeah, basically. The meeting was supposed to start, I forgot. It was like 07 or something. And like by 07:30, there was like one or two people. And then by 08, those one or two people were gone, and like a couple other people, and they're sweating.
Did anybody suspect anything, or they just chalked it up to bad chow hall?
Well, we blamed it. They were asking, and I told them that, the water purification guys were doing the water testing. So
nice.
I made up some BS. Yeah, they believed it because they weren't going to follow it down the line. But yeah, so the meeting never even happened.
And Air Force, we always blamed it on CE. Everything for they're those people, the construction, all those.
Yeah,
the guys that handle that.
Ours was water purification. Jay, I was like, those water purifiers.
Yeah. Well, CE's like the blanket. That's everything from like building air bases to working at chow hall. I mean, it's kind of pretty broad.
Yeah, ours isn't that broad, but it was.
And at least it was when I was in. I don't. They probably compartmentalize everything by now.
Yeah, they go through and they do the water testing, and then they put whatever they're going to put in the water to make it supposedly right. And,
sure.
And that's and then of course
every time you mention that, all I think of is that movie with
Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it in the Army now?
In the Army now.
Yeah.
We're the water boys.
Yeah.
And all that. Yeah. During Gulf War.
Yeah. Well, what cleared me the most was our corpsman was walking, and I guess one of the staff NCOs that stopped him and was like, hey, and he was all like, yeah, we're kind of having a run of this right now. There's a lot of people that are sick. And there was a lot of people that were sick, but it wasn't because of the water.
Right.
It was because of a flu that was going around.
But it's convenient.
But yeah, it was convenient.
It served the purpose.
It's kind of like everything, you kind of got the same symptoms. Kind of. You got 1 out of 35, so you got it.
That's right.
There you go.
It's like COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
You got sniffles, it's COVID.
It's COVID, yeah. Your toenail fell off, COVID. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, really.
But I had a heart attack. I don't care. He died of COVID.
It's COVID, Even now, people ask, aren't you still afraid? No, I was never afraid to begin with.
Yeah, it's the flu.
We had a paper up on our wall, and it says, here, we wash our hands after we go to the bathroom. We don't use big H words. Hi. We don't use any of that. So,
right.
And this woman got offended, and I was laughing. She was all like, you need to take that down. I was all like, I ain't taking that down. That's up there for a reason.
It's your house, you can do what you want.
Yeah. And she's, I can't believe that's up there. And I'm like, why? I was all like, oh my gosh,
Like just to trigger people.
Yeah, I still love it. You see the people walking through town with the masks on, but it's below their nose. It's like, whoa. And I asked one of the ladies that came in.
Virtual signal. That's
yeah, and I was like, why? And she was like, it's just basically kind of a security thing for me. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's mental health.
Yeah, I wasn't going to sit there and argue with her and tell her, well, you look ridiculous. I was just like, oh, okay.
Everybody's head's a soup sandwich, and then when your soup sandwich doesn't like their soup sandwich, then you get mad. That's what's going on. But everyone's a soup sandwich.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So anyway,
luckily for me, I got somebody that can make really good soup sandwiches.
But I saw the time. We're about out of time here. If you need any help when it comes to the grass, to planting, to if you want to start your gardens here and all that here for the spring, just go down to Roswell Seed. Talk to them. Let them set you up. Whether you're an experienced gardener or don't know the first thing about it, go down there and talk to them. They'll get you to having a nice yard, nice garden if you just listen.
Yes. Just get a couple of minutes and we'll get you straightened out.
Absolutely. And no chicks this year.
No chicks this year. No.
But there are some places in town.
Supposedly, yeah. I don't, like I said, I don't know. I've heard.
And all I know is from our advertisers. They come in and, Big R, I think, like you said, they're going to be advertising. And I'm pretty sure Roswell Livestock is advertising.
Okay.
Too.
Yeah. I haven't gone over there I go over there every once in a while to screw around with them just because I go in and have fun.
That's a good store, too. They got a lot of everything in there.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, if you want everything that, because Roswell Seed, if you want plant seeds and everything else, but if you want,
equipment, hosing, stuff like
or jeans.
they have that stuff. Yeah,
they got it all.
Yeah, they got they got all the.
I got to get some jewelry to get out of the doghouse, and I need some hardware.
Right.
Then you go to Roswell.
Yeah. I need to fix something that broke the water line that got me in trouble.
They are the catch-all of every doghouse you've got.
You know what? That's the best. That's the best line right there. They got Oh, you screwed up? Well, here's the water pipe that you broke, and you might want to go over there and pick out a necklace.
That should be their slogan: getting guys out of doghouses since 18 whatever they've been out.
Jeez Louise, yeah, it's true.
But that being said, come on to Roswell Seed. They got you covered.
We'll
Anything
take care of you.
If you got to put it in the ground, Roswell Seed can help you do it. Except for
we don't do bodies
when it comes to plants and things like that.
Remember to call 411 before you bury someone.
That's right.
It is the law.
It is the law.
Yeah, we'll help you grow it or kill it. That's for sure. But
good deal. Well, thank you, John. As always, we'll see you next time.
All right.
It's 10 o'clock. We're done for the day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have a great day. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow.
The European heads of state pledging billions in support of Ukraine.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced a loan of nearly $3 billion on Sunday, which will be funded through the freezing of Russian assets. But prior to this announcement, the EU has